Hello, and welcome to episode 385 of Tenno Clock. I am MDRLOz. This is Xeno, and we are over-prepared for this episode because we recorded the entire thing and then realized we didn't have pretty much the entire thing and didn't have any audio from Xeno. It was going to be the most Loz-centric episode ever conceived. We decided not to do it because it was too much Loz.
I ruined it.
Too much loss for everyone to handle. But instead, we're now back to re-record this with a vengeance. So we all start like we do every re-recording with some emblems. There is some emblems.
I think we're going to blitz some of this, and the intro was really short last time. So I don't know what yours is. What is yours? I'm going to focus on yours now. What is it?
What is it?
It's like, what is it?
Like an explosion.
It feels to me someone got a CD, and then drilled some holes in it, and then got a blue light behind it.
Yeah.
Right. And mine's was it a Eagle Scout, Boy Scout, Cub Scout, Scout.
Steel Guardians 2008. So I actually spotted it says 2008 at the bottom.
Wow.
If that is actually a group of friends who have been playing many games since 2008 and they sort of keep the same badge, that would be impressive. I don't think we gave a victor from yesterday. I don't remember actually deciding. I'll say yours.
I don't think we did.
I think yours. I like yours.
Sure. Okay, there we go. But if you wish to win 75 Platinum for your platform of choice, go into the description below where you'll find the link to this week's polls and Platinum giveaway. Just simply fill in the polls. You'll see this week's emblems, and then you'll be entered in for the fortnightly Platinum giveaway for 75 Platinum of your platform of choice. However, make sure you get your in-game name correct. We'll come about this in Dojo Dusting. What the hell happened to you?
Oh, don't mind me.
Okay, and we'll get this. We'll get into this in Dojo Dusting right now.
Yay!
Right. So, Dojo Dusting, really simple. We didn't really have much last time, but I'm going to point out now the Xbox Platinum winner for the last giveaway, which was last weekend. Last Monday. They didn't get their platinum because their name was spelt wrong. So it's really important you get your name spelt correctly because. Think about this. We don't have any other platform apart from PC, right? I mean, you could argue I have the Switch, but if you've spelt your name wrong, how are we supposed to contact you, right? There's like, what the hell have you done to? Okay, but there's nothing we can do about it. So that Platinum giveaway, no one won for the Xbox.
Yeah, out of here.
So please, for the love of God, make sure that you can that you put your name in correctly, because otherwise you'll miss out. Right. I don't think there was anything else. No?
Nope.
So War Report?
Yep. War Report. I think we said it'll probably be not next week, but the week after we'll start having guests again, probably.
Ish. I really need to sort out. Yeah, it definitely won't be next week. But it might be the week after. I really need to sort out guests and things. And I think a large part of the problem is that just trying to find people that are interested and engaged in doing Warframe-related stuff.
Everyone else not interested in Warframe. We remain.
We do remain. But anyway, should we move on
what was that new game? Has it destroyed Warframe yet? Outriders? I think that was the one.
Any good? Yesterday.
Is it any good?
I bought it, yeah. I don't know. I know that they've had a lot of technical issues with because they've got an always online system.
Right.
And apparently their servers are constantly going down. SkillUp has said that he doesn't like how short the campaign is. But he said he did it in 25 hours and it's like a £50 game.
That seems decent.
Yeah, I mean for me, as long as it's no more than £2 per
hour.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah,
right?
it's like it's when it's like 10 to 12 hours. That's ridiculous.
Or 6.
Yeah, or 6. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, it's we'll see how it goes, right? But apparently loads of people are having issues because the servers just keep crashing. And apparently Outriders has massively outshone Marvel Avengers.
Oh, okay.
Massively.
Massively.
Massively. Right, should we go into
That's not Warframe, so I don't care.
Yeah, I mean maybe I can convince you to pick it up, but you'll probably download it faster than me anyway. Right, so let's go into the war report.
Yes, let's go on all the current Warframe news. What current Warframe news? I think it's Easter for a few more days when this goes live, and there's an Easter egg campaign, which is probably live for another day, but that's about it. Yep.
Yeah, the Tempestari quest is supposed to be coming out soon, TM.
Yeah, which when it comes to consoles will come along with all the Railjack updates that are now live on PC. Now that they've been tested by the large PC community, so all the bugs can be worked out. So that's all going to come in one package for the consoles ASAP. Oh no, it's coming. They're all coming simultaneously, aren't they?
I think they are.
I think it's supposed to be.
We said this yesterday, and I'm like, did they say that?
I think they said that Tempestari is coming the same time to all consoles. Is what I think.
All platforms, yeah.
All consoles. PC is just a console in disguise. Yeah.
Well, surely consoles are PCs in disguise, but
Shock.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think there's anything else really to add to that. No. So, okay, well, let's jump straight into the topics for this week. Actually, we're pretty close to where we were before. So, our first topic for this week is Warframe enemy survey, and our second topic is Railjack crew capture versus defeat. Right, so
we've done that topic, and that title is awful. Really is, actually. Now that I actually know what that topic is, now hearing that title that's not what that's about at all. Right? Okay.
Yeah. Right. So let's go into our first topic, which is Warframe enemy survey.
Right.
Okay, so this topic, Warframe enemy survey, almost half of the votes wanted to see open world enemies in other missions. Grineer needed more diversity than most. The most disliked enemy is, no surprise here, nullifiers at 21.5% of the votes. It's important to have enemies with priorities that aren't all the same. People generally want improved pathing, conditioning, and self-preservation from enemies.
Coordination.
What did I say?
Conditioning.
I meant coordination, like Loz said. Coordination.
That's what I'm here for.
Players correct my mistakes and take me out of dyingness. Right? Most players would like destructible armor on Elite Grineer, but only some would like overshield generators on Elite Corpus. So these are the clip notes that Tobiah lovingly got us. The original topic, that breaks into a big survey. You know what? We didn't actually look at the questions, and there's one question that
I don't think we could. Well, we couldn't actually see the actual questions. The poll's closed. We can only see like the infographic. Oh, wait, I can put the infographic up.
Yeah, put the infographic up.
Is it on?
So the problem I have with this is that.
Well, I'll start. Hang on. So first of all, just so everyone is on the same page while we're talking about this, what this is some very nice person on Reddit, actually. So we never really appreciated this before in the last recording of it. That it was a person on Reddit sat down and made, I assume, some sort of giant survey of a load of questions specifically relating to how enemies react and what people want to see in the enemies of Warframe. I kind of agree with them because it's one of my big bugbears that the enemies in Warframe are very similar, very static. The Grineer Lancer pretty much shows you, it's the perfect example. It's a mob, it just has a gun and it shoots you. Too many mobs in Warframe are like that. There's not enough variation in the style of enemy. So it's really cool to see the community producing this kind of questionnaire survey results there and handed it out to the Reddit community. good job, people. And then they took all that information and they compiled it all into a cool infographic, which you'll see on the screen, but there will be a link in the description below. Yep, for that infographic and the topic if you want to look at it yourself. So, we've just gone through the summaries of it, and now Xeno's going to give his view of some of the questions given. Go. There we go.
The problem I have with these questions is they're very positive loaded, right? They drive the direction of
the answer of the question.
The answer. So like this is something that if you've gone into academia, if you've gone into university, you will know that it's really important not to
lead with your question.
Exactly. So would you like to see open world enemies in other missions as well? You know,
who's going to say no to that? It's like,
yeah,
it's priming people to right away answer. Well, of course, that's a good thing, isn't it? The question's almost asking, you know, do you want to see this? Is good thing good? Yes, good thing is good. Let's have good thing. Yes. Yeah. It's people are predisposed to answer that way.
Yeah. Whereas with which faction could do with more diversity, that is very
balanced.
Down to opinion. Yes, exactly.
Between it's not favoring one option. Yeah.
Exactly. Cool. Now, there's another problem with that, which is down to interpretation. Diversity, well, you know, the internet right now, if you've never heard of Twitter, it is very suffering of like woke culture and things like this. I would genuinely understand this to mean like ethnically, racially.
Yeah, but that's your own bias on the question. But yeah.
But no, that's the whole point.
Oh, I see what you mean.
To interpretation, right?
Yes.
Whereas this could quite easily mean, and I think this is what they mean, would you like to see more variations on the enemies?
Yes, variation would have been a more balanced and non-charged word to use, is what you mean. Exactly. I see what you mean, right? Yeah.
You know, so it's really important that when
you
asking these questions, when you're designing these questions, there's no room for misunderstanding, misinterpretation, which is a lot of the problem that we see with some of the feedback we get with anything, right? You know, you and I have been on the public test cluster, and we've seen some of the feedback given by people, and it's
I remember that from a while back.
I can't actually remember any example right now, but the whole point is I remember seeing some of them going like, what the hell are you banging on about? You're supposed to be testing X. Why are you talking about something completely unrelated?
Yeah. But again, that's related to the agenda and bias of the person when they were going into it being different, which can happen, yeah. So you've got to be careful your question that you don't allow people to slip these things in, if you're looking for that, and then they go over there,
I've just noticed now that the person that actually put this thing together is European.
What's wrong with that?
No. Do you know how I can tell?
How?
They use commas instead of decimals.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. What you call it, coding does not work with commas at all. And the number of times people create floating point numbers with commas instead, and random programming point. The one thing I'd love to have seen this questionnaire as it was live, because I want to know. So one of the questions is most disliked enemy, which will be the core focus on the replies for this. Most disliked enemy, right? So is that the best worst enemy, or the enemy that you want to see removed from the game effectively?
Yes, disliked is again a very odd word to use. It's like as you say, do you just dislike to fight it, but you think it's important in the enemy lineup? Do you feel it's disliked to the point that you wish it was removed from the game because it causes problems and issues with your play? It's a very hard to describe what is the question asking,
Right.
But nullifiers, though. Nullifiers are so good. They're like the best mob in the game. I'm sorry. I know people hate fighting them, but they are so important in adding so much variety in different ways to play. It's oh.
You want to hold off until the replies?
No, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm just going on the percentage.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to explode like last time. So again,
Well,
and here,
so
let's go to the other point. So Grineer need more diversity than most. We went through it, and like
they don't.
What they need is better mob player interactions and better mob interactions is what we came up with yesterday. Like the Corpus, for instance, you've got a Corpus shield drone which will put shields on multiple mobs. One of those mobs could be a Corpus sniper, which will put down a little square bracket on the floor, which spawns roly boys. I can't remember the names of them. At the same time, you could have a Scrambus linking to the player, knocking out one of their abilities, and then I can't remember what else I said yesterday. There was one more thing I could be brought in. Now I've forgotten it. Oh yeah, all of those mobs guarded by a nullifier bubble. So that's the mobs helping the mobs affecting you, and the mobs spawning more mobs. It's all these things. With Grineer, you're like, okay, I've got a Lancer, a Seeker, a Heavy Gunner, and a Bombard, and a guy with a shield. The Seeker will throw out drones and do its own thing. The Bombard, the Heavy Gunner, they'll just shoot you. The Lance will shoot you, and the guy in the shield will get shot because punch through just ruins his shield. That's it. There's nothing to it. It's more variation is what's missing there. What else did they say?
I will say, right, I put my money where my mouth is. I'm looking at the wiki. I don't know if you want to take that infographic off because no one can read the thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, just showing us
there.
There's a link
to it in the description. There's a link. Right. So from a glance, there are more Corpus enemies than there are Grineer or infested, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to tell. It's really, really hard to tell because to me personally, I don't feel that there's a lot of variation in the Corpus enemies. I think it's because, they're shooting something at me, I shoot them, they're dead. You're right there.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about it. And I think that there actually is a lot more in the Corpus because if you just think the base, like, Corpus crewman, it changes what he's equipped with and even the helmet, the style, the visual of the mob. If it's a regular Corpus ship or the new updated Corpus ship, if they're on Venus, then it's a different one. If it's on Jupiter, then it's a different one. And if it's on, I forgot one more. There was one more I was thinking. That it'll be a different unit again. Whereas the Grineer Lancer, I think, is in every form of the game and just gets a different spray of paint. And if he gets a different gun, it still just shoots bullets. It doesn't do anything different.
So I want to check with you to see if there's something you know about the Grineer, the Corpus, right? So with the infested, there are different types of infested. You got your walkers, you got your crawlers, you got your mutalisks, ancients, blah 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 blah, right?
Yep.
With your, could you name me, right?
Yep.
The baseline for the Grineer. Yeah, like the classifications.
Humanoid?
No. It's so you got light, medium, heavy,
and
Kuva.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Sorry, right. Corpus. Give Corpus to go.
Crewman, proxies, and heavy proxies.
Heavy proxies? What would it be in the heavy proxies?
The arachnoids, hyenas, and that's about it.
Right. Okay. So I'm also going to give like ospreys, right? I assume
ospreys,
you put ospreys in with the proxies.
Yeah, I would
right?
put them in proxies.
Right. And there's also amalgams.
Oh, right? Yes, yep.
Yep, fair enough. But there's one that you missed.
Okay.
The Rangers.
They have jetpacks.
Do they?
I think they have jetpacks.
What the hell are the Rangers?
The Rangers.
Yep, you're right. They're the jetpack ones.
Alpha, I need Rangers. The fight.
Oh my god.
Summon me teenagers with attitude.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all the jetpack ones. Right, so you have the Vapos Detron Ranger, the Vapos Elite Ranger, the Vapos Nullifier Ranger, the Vapos Sniper Ranger, the Vapos Tech Ranger.
Also known as the red, blue, yellow, black, pink, and maybe a green ranger.
But it just feels there's only 5 there.
That's what you think.
Feels
Secret
like,
one.
It just feels like this entire. Hold on, you got 3 words for their name, and you just change the middle word each time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could lose one of the other words.
The red Power Ranger, the yellow Power Ranger, the blue Power Ranger. I didn't change the one word. All different.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you know.
You wait till the Corpus Megazord comes out, then you're ruined.
You don't say the blue Power Ranger, you say Blue Ranger.
You could say blue Power Ranger.
Loz, we both know someone that is very, very much into this. we know the terminology.
I know. I think they would agree with me, but they are shortened for just saving time. But that's why it's perfectly fine to say the yellow Power Ranger.
I would just go with Vapos Detron.
Because I think actually I am right, because you could get Turbo Rangers and then probably many other words to replace power that I don't know about. Yes, Neo Rangers. Ninja Ranger. Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure I'd be right. Cool.
Yeah, but they don't mix. Well, they very rarely mix.
They do rarely mix, but they still mix in crossovers, and thus I'm win again. So yeah, you wait till the Corpus crossover with the Corpus Megazords, then we're ruined. The Rachnoid Megazord is coming. But they all combine.
Very, very, very clearly, the Infested have the least diversity.
Yeah, that's fine. But then I always feel them. They are a faction, but they have never really been given, because they're not given. They're never really fleshed out. They're never really given a overarching characters or force or like overminds or whatever to give them depth. They're just the Infested. So they're in some ways supposed to be less diverse because of that. Or less variation in mobs. But anyway, let's go back to the topic at hand, because there were some things we didn't pull up yet. Instead, we just wondering about this. There were some interesting things to do with the amount of mobs in play that people said. That they wanted to see more enemies. And most people said they wouldn't mind, and this is, I feel, is a very PC-biased question, thinking about it. They wouldn't mind if they had to take a graphical hit on settings if it could accommodate more enemies in play. Consoles don't have a choice in this, to my knowledge. You can't be like, I'll just turn down... Yeah, exactly. I'll turn down my graphics on my Switch to get more enemies. No, I don't think that's how it works. Which is really PC-focused. And then the other thing was the very baiting question on, which if you look on the infographic, it's got it as like multiple topics, multiple settings, that it then reroutes into what combines a few of them. And I think like self-preservation and things has several of them. This weird thing about AI, which is a cold can of worms, because I think we both agreed last time. Personally, we hate when people, we have in the past as well, we hate when people say, improve the AI, because they don't actually, that's not what you actually want. You think that's what the way you think to describe your problem, but it's really not. Because they say, I want to see better pathing for the mobs. What? Do you see the mobs clipping on things more? Does increasing pathing mean a Grineer Lancer is going to be any more of a challenge? No, it does. It's a terrible thing to say pathing. And then it's like self-preservation. Again, it has to apply to the smallest enemy. So the Grineer, you're in a room fighting 6 Grineer Lancers, and a door opens and 10 more come in, right? How does improved self-preservation improve that gameplay at all? They take cover more and shoot you from cover. Yes, but you're ping-pong, bouncing around the room like a electron in a magnetic field or something, stuck between magnetic fields.
Like Hadron Collider.
Exactly, going all over the shop. It's in cover, so it shoots you from cover. It won't change the gameplay. It won't change the time to kill of that mob. You can't... I mean, maybe with mob-to-mob interactions, let's say, where the ones with shields, if they remove the punch through, and so Lancers could hide behind them, and thus then they always face you and rotate towards you, and you can't just punch through them in 2 seconds without paying attention. Or maybe they can block Warframe powers if they're face onto you. That way they can protect each other and then shoot from behind. There you go. That's what the sort of thing you want to see if you want to see self-preservation. But just like, the mob will what? Grenadier Lancers run into them, they go, quick, I better prioritize my self-preservation. And so they hide behind boxes and things. So the game becomes, where are all the Grenadier Lancers? Oh, they're hiding behind boxes now, trying to self-preserve.
I wanna segue. Do you remember was it Return of the King? Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. So Weta, the 3D animating company,
yes,
they use
Massive.
They use
Massive. It's called Massive.
Massive?
Yeah, the software to organize loads of people.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's called Massive.
I thought it was Maya.
No. They had. Oh, you mean if you mean the AI to control all the people in their war cinematics? No, it had a name. I think it was called Massive.
Right. Okay. Fine. The whole point was that they had this AI that was used to dictate how the fighting happened in the CG. So it would render out, and it was all procedurally generated, right, through an AI, right? But in their early attempts, they found that when the army encountered, oh god, what was the war elephants called? Whatever, the war elephants in, huh?
What? Mumakil, I think.
Is that their name?
I think that's their name. Well, you got Samwise Gamgee going. They're called Orifants.
Yeah,
I think they're called Murmakil. Murmakil,
right?
Murmakil,
regardless, giant war elephant thing that's like 5 times the size of our elephants turns up.
Yeah,
and they found that half the army AI ran away, and the other half ran straight to it. Right? There's a giant divide in the actual. And like, what the hell? So doing AI is like, oh, so what? You want the enemy to run away from you? No, you want to kill them, right?
Yeah. So they probably programmed it saying that the enemy, each horseman fighting a giant elephant would have a fear check so that you'll see some of them running away. But what happened is, as soon as they became in range, half of them failed their fear check and just ran away, and then the other half just progressed into fighting. And it's like, it's not quite what they wanted. They probably wanted to see them clash, and then a few of them at a time bank away.
I think it was a case of they had to change it so they either couldn't be feared, right? Or is it whether or not the AI would engage the Oliphant or stick with the enemy that they were fighting right then and there?
I don't think they had much else to fight when those turned up.
No, because it was the two armies, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, the Orc army flees, and then because the riders of Rohan come in, and they look like they succeeded, and then they go to crush the army, and then I think Murmakil. I think it's Murmakil. I'm gonna look this up.
Anyway, the whole point is, like, what would you want to see in Warframe? Like, so when we were talking about this yesterday, we were talking about it's all about the interaction. It really is all about the interaction. You came up with the brilliant Destiny 2 reference, which you're going to make again now.
Oh, sure. So the example, it's not the best example. I'm not saying I want this in Warframe, but it gives you a perfect example of how one mob in Destiny 2, which we do say there's got some plus points, but we're not the biggest fans of, that I can take and show you how it gives much more interaction than most mobs in Warframe. So there's I can't remember what they're called now, actually. What is that group of enemies?
The Cabal?
Cabal?
It is the Cabal.
Is it the Cabal? The Cabal. So the Cabals have dudes with shields and pistols. And one thing the guy with the shield and pistol can do is he can deploy his shield. So he plonks down his shield, and then it opens to the left and the right. Now, there's a big target in the middle, but then it gives the player a choice. How can the player deal with the mob? Either they could run around the shield or ignore the mob for now, go deal with something else, or they can shoot the shield in the middle, which will close up the shield and have to fight the mob, or they could try and jump over it, or maybe use a power or use a grenade. But there's different ways, but they've removed your ability to just shoot in that direction because the shield's in the way, unless you shoot the middle, which breaks the shield, and you have to waste time closing up that shield. So that as soon as that guy deploys a shield, I'm not saying it's the best example, but it's a very simple example which shows how it changes as soon as that shield is deployed, what the player is going to do next. Most mobs in Warframe, and I think the best example of this I felt it the most is when the amalgams came out, because I feel that the art team and the animation team did an amazing job making the amalgams do all these amazing things. Like, you got the two where it's two mowers stuck up together and it runs around, and I mean, you can literally shoot through the mob because it's a big oval shape and things like that, and they have all these different things. But what do they actually do in gameplay that makes you feel different? Do any of them make you go, oh, okay, that amalgam's here now and it's doing this, I better change the way I play? No, none of them do. They just appear, you shoot them, they die. You appear, shoot, die. Ah, such a disappointment. There's just nothing to them. I never go, oh, it's that amalgam. Right, it's in that corridor. Do I deal with that now? Or do I have to do this? Or do I change? Or if that activates its whatever ability, am I going to do that next? No, you're just like, oh, there's a thing, I'll shoot it. Oh, there's a thing, I'll shoot it. Oh, there's a thing, I'll shoot it. Oh, they're all dead. Like, some of them are crazy. I remember seeing them thinking like, wow, look how original that mob design is. And it's like, right, but what does it do in game? No, it doesn't do anything physically different than if it was just a Grineer Lancer, which would appear, shoot at you, and die. That's it. Very sad. Very sad.
No, I agree with you. I think it's all about the interactions. I don't know what a large part of the problem is. We have insane mobility.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And if they put up these gigantic shields, we just jump over them.
Yeah, that's why
it's actually a common tactic for ramparts. Just jump over it.
Yeah. I mean, there have been times when they have tried it. Like, one of the bursars or riot mowers used to put down like an electrical grid that would shut down a whole corridor. And it would be in front of it, and in theory, if any mob came up behind it, you could not reach that mob to fight it, and it could shoot through at you.
Oh, you're talking about one. You're talking about the one that eventually made its way into the index.
Is it in the index? Right, which is stupid because it was actually an interesting mob and actually could cause things, because it would be, right, I'm going to protect all these mobs down a corridor, you have to fight me, and you're vulnerable to all these mobs shooting down the corridor, and you can't get down there because it's just a wall until you deal with me. Instead, oh, we'll just put that in the index. Right.
No, I think they took it out because people were complaining about it too much.
Yeah, but that's what everyone always does. That's like, no, I'm surprised Nullify still exists in the game. As soon as there is any complexity or depth, or it steps away for even 1 second from you shoot the balloon and it pops, people just go and lose their minds. And that's why we can never have nice things in Warframe. Yeah.
I mean, it's, to be honest, it just reminds me of the throwball meme, you know. And throwball is give challenge, right? And the no take is no hard enemies, right?
No complexity.
Yeah, no complexity. Yeah. So it's like,
give challenge, no complexity, only challenge.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, that doesn't work.
Yep.
I think, and talking about, so one thing I didn't think about, so one of the points that they highlighted was the pathing.
Yes, yeah.
One thing they could do is improve the pathing to include vertical terrain, so enemies could latch on to vertical locations and things. This would be really hard to do, and it would massively tax the pathing AI. So I don't know if I'll try really simplistically to explain how pathing AI works with just a chessboard, right?
Yeah.
So a chessboard, a piece can only go in specific ways,
directions,
right? You know, so exactly, directions, distances, so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
But the important thing is, to save your machine from killing itself, you don't work out every possibility. Yeah. You work out each step and go, right, what is proving to be the most profitable? And then from there, you keep on going on the profitable ones and you ditch the non-profitable ones, right?
Yep.
So, for example, I've put a pawn in a position that it can be taken by another pawn. That's not profitable. Just ditch that whole chain of thought. I've moved my queen in a position where it can be taken. Ditch that whole chain of thought. Because you're not thinking just one step ahead. You're thinking many, many steps ahead.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're trying to get from one side of the board to the other side of the board, you're not going to want to go around the outside of the board. You're going to want to go in a straight line. So as you're working out the different paths from point A to point B, you want to just cut off the branches of the calculation tree that aren't going to yield the best results. Yeah. So if there are more locations on the board to work out, it will stress out the pathing AI a bit more.
Yeah. Now, to bring that back down to the game, as I like to do my example of the Grinnell answer, what's the AI of the Grinnell answer probably telling it to do? And it's probably actually telling it to move towards the warframe and a player warframe and attempt to shoot it, which it will just do, and then basically be viewable to be shot at. That's probably actually what it's telling it to do. Now, if they change that to make it go hide away from player, so the Grineer will run into the room, then go, quick, hide behind every box, and then as soon as you try and move towards them, they just run around boxes, and their goal is to not be seen by you. That's what people seem to want, because that's what it would be. And so instead, because the game is actually probably designed to just put them up like a shooting gallery in front of you, like make them run into your field of view, make them run towards you, so that you can kill them. That's all it's designed to do. Now, if you make them go hide behind boxes, it becomes a game where you have to use your magical maneuver ability to try and get around every box, every wall, every corner to try and shoot them. What people I think people want them to do is they want them to, like, form up in corridors. They form, like, firing blocks and things. But the problem is, as you were saying, that it's about processing power for each option. But your example of the chessboard is where the thing's trying to get across the chessboard is the goal, and that improves, right?
Yeah.
But in Warframe, if you try and get them to form up in an area so they work together to shoot at an enemy, that enemy is ping-ponging around the map again. So it's as if I'm trying to move a mob across the chessboard while at the same time you're holding the chessboard and slowly moving it around and jiggling it every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's impossible to make them, oh yes, they'll form up and form beachheads and things. Like, no, you're going ping, 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 ping. Two mobs get in position and you're 2 rooms ahead of them now.
The problem is, it's just that the player is too fast to make the AI have the opportunity to do complicated things.
Yeah.
All right. Should we move on to the replies?
Yes, right. So, this is where I explode with rage from people using the wrong words. So, breathe in and out. And out. Unmodded Grakata pops Nullifier Shield in 2 seconds with bullets that do 10 damage. 5 former Stahata with Riven tickles Nullifier Shield with a projectile that deals tens of thousands of damage, redirecting an explosion that would one-shot steel path enemies. I can't actually remember what I'm going to have to look. What is a Stahata again? I should remember that.
I'll look it up now.
Yeah. A sniper? I can't remember. So many words, so many names. But my key point here is, first of all, I haven't finished. Sorry. Gets worse. Other heavy damage weapons aren't as lucky to have a fast firing mode. Opticores, Brahma, Lens, normal bows, any sniper suffer because the only thing these bubbles care about is fire rate. There has to be a damage cap to their absorption too. So, first of all, they seem to have...
hold on. The Stahata or Stahalta or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Is the Corpus radiation gun from or Valis. It's the one that fires the rods of radiation. Remember?
That's not. That was in Thingy Protocol, wasn't it? Deadlock.
No, I don't think it. What was it?
I think that's Deadlock.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was Deadlock.
Maybe you're right. Actually, it's off the Jackal.
Yeah, that'll be Deadlock.
Ground and Void. Yep. Yeah, you're right.
I remember that gun. It's a cool gun. Still.
Yep.
Right. This person doesn't seem to know how nullifiers work. There is a little satellite at the top that flies up, and it's at the top of the bubble. If you shoot that with your high damage weapon, which does 1 billion damage in one shot, the bubble pops. They added this so that people with snipers, people with low fire rate weapons would have an option, skill-based of course, to hit that and pop the bubble in one go. The bubble itself is designed to absorb high damage, and so little pecs, like little Grakata that's unmodded, are meant to deal with it. Now, I think you're going to point out how just to say, we can now bring, obviously, a primary, a secondary, a melee weapon. Let alone that, you have a arc weapon, a arc wing weapon. You have your necromech, and you have your operator who can have a rapid firing amp. All of these things, and you can melee the shield. There are multiple ways to deal with shields without just even attacking the satellite at the top. But they even gave you the satellite at the top, so you don't even have to change weapon. It just annoys me so much how people don't appreciate nullifiers. They are the best thing in the game.
Actually, my point was... Sorry, can you pause it 2 seconds? Yeah, the point I actually had was you could just jump into the...
Yes, I keep removing it. I'll give this example because most people hate it because it removes all of your buffs. But you're right, you can just step into the bubble and shoot them with any weapon.
Sun still blinding me. Right, okay. Yeah, you could just jump in and just job done. The other side of this is I don't know about you, but I typically have counterbalance to my equipment.
Yeah.
So I take the Toncore and I will take a pistol that will fire quite quickly. Like the new core, right? The new core will the Cuba new core will deal with the nullifier bubble quite quickly. The axe stilettos, right? The rapid fire thing. I would rarely ever take another slow firing pistol just to maximize DPS.
My default loadout is an opticore with axe stiletto primes.
Right. And I'm wondering, and this will be one of the questions, like how many people actually have this counterbalance?
I think we asked a similar question years ago, and most people were like, "No."
I honestly can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I think the example you gave last time we recorded this was, if you had a grenade launcher, can you have a secondary grenade launcher? And it's like, yeah, you can take the Angstrom, can't you, as an example? Yeah. And it's like, I want more explosions with my explosions. It's like, okay, but that's not going to help you deal with bubbles now, is it?
Yeah, I take the Tigress and the Brack.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So, well, people are asking, like, if people are, I mean, this actually just goes back to the ball meme, doesn't it? It's like, want challenge, no difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, it was want challenge, no complexity.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to choose a variation in your build, your loadout, so that you've got. And the thing is, you don't even have to make it your primary or secondary anymore. You literally could just take the Imperator for your Arcwing weapon and just have a rapid firing gun in that. And just swap to that.
Again, this is why we wanted to ditch Sword Alone, because with
basing the game around the concept of Sword Alone, like that it's that everything should be viable with just a sword. I mean, I wouldn't mind too much if you did remove Sword Alone, because you can just make it visually so that you just have your melee weapon now, and you could just play with just a melee weapon. But the concept of making the game work with just a sword for everything, no, it's hindrance.
I really want an enemy that is Ninja from the first Metal Gear Solid.
Ninja.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember Ninja. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who haven't played it, like, simple enemy, you can't shoot him. He blocks all the attacks with his sword. You're going to demonstrate
hand to hand. It is the basis of all combat.
There was actually an alternative. Do you know what the other way of actually killing him was?
C4?
No, it was the Nikita rocket launcher.
Oh.
So at least that's what I believe it was. But yeah. So, but I always had the hand, because I didn't find out about the rocket launcher until much, much later. I was like,
right.
But the thing is, it was so difficult to navigate.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So moving on from nullifiers. On the next reply?
Oh, no. One thing I did want to point out, though, is the satellite could do with some TLC.
Yes. So you were pointing out how it kind of leans, it's always directly above the corpus unit. So if the corpus unit leans forward when walking forwards, it presents the satellite. Forward. But if they're running away and they lean forward, if you're behind them,
you can't hit
it because it's protected by the back of the shield bubble. So there's a little bit in that, but overall that's a minor thing, really.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would still just have it like, just have the satellite permanently at the top. Right, there
Yeah,
you go. That instantly eliminates.
It's tricky because I think the way it works is obviously it comes out from the backpack, and I think it's just on a stick basically. So it's just going up from down from the backpack.
Yeah.
So if it would then have to come out from the backpack, but then coordinate to the ground then, and then go up and down from that, which I think would be a bit meh. So that's a niggling thing that I think people can just live with.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even like that satellite as it is. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think the problem is with the types of enemies or how they impact you. I just want their pathing and usefulness to be increased. When I play Disruption, I can take care of the demo units very easily, but when it comes to getting the key carriers seem non-existent for me and have to kill every enemy on the map to get a single key carrier spawn. Same reason with life support drops from enemies unless you go high range nuking frame or loot frame, you will constantly lose life support. Oh god, now this was the perfect example of somebody using words which aren't useful to explain your situation. Saying that they want to increase the pathing and usefulness of mobs doesn't make sense. They already showed how the pathing of the mobs is fine because the demo unit knows how to path towards the objective and get it explode, but the key carriers have nothing to do with pathing. And I think you said about how if they did have bad pathing, how you would see that.
Yeah, so if you had bad pathing in a game like this, the enemies wouldn't move. They would just stand there like utter lemons because they can't fight. For example, bad pathing, perfect example in Warframe, you know the on-screen map objectives, right? That move around with you. So as you get closer to the doorway, the objective moves to the next doorway, right? How often do you see it where the objective kind of does a 180 because it cannot find the path to the next doorway?
Yes, from your current location. Yeah.
That is bad pathing.
Yeah.
Right? It cannot work work out where it should be.
Because it's trying to work out your location. It has to know where the objective is located, either in your tile or a different tile, and then it has to work out what is the doorway you require to reach the tile that, if you're not on it, that the objective is on. And so it has to path from you to the objective, and then does it go through doorways and then indicate those doorways to you. And sometimes it messes up completely because it goes like this door, and you're like, what are you talking about? It's over there. It's like this door. It's like no game.
Yeah. And the problem for this is that there's probably a break in the way that the path is worked out. So like, an enemy can't move through this tube, but a Warframe can, right? So that way it can't work it out, and it has to work it out when you get through the tube. Or worse still is, there's a maximum number of score, or that it has to get to the next point. And so the whole point is that it just that is bad pathing. But there is no real bad pathing for the enemy AI in another instance of bad pathing. So do you know why they got the timer for the demo list to just run up and blow up the console?
Is that if it gets stuck?
That's if it gets stuck. That's bad pathing, right? But I haven't seen a demo list get stuck in a long ass time.
No, yeah. It's because otherwise the game mode would, if it did have a pathing problem, the game mode would continue forever until you either hunt down the mob, which might even be stuck in a wall. So it has a time at which it times out. But that's the thing. You don't often find, like, for instance, they said about the two examples they gave is amalgams dropping keys and life support drops. Now, life support drops, I think, can drop from any mob in a survival. I'm pretty sure. There's not an allocated mob, which is the life support mob. So that's nothing to do with pathing, for one. And then the other one, the
key bearers.
Now, the key thing here, because I remember we talked about this last time, is if you're playing in a team, it might not be pathing or usefulness. You might just be off on your own thing and killing corpus crewmen, trying to find an amalgam to spawn. But if the rest of your team are on the next tile over, and they're having problems killing, and they've got an amalgam or two there, you'll kill all the crewmen you want. You'll never see an amalgam spawn because they've already spawned and they're over there. So it's nothing to do with pathing. Unless this person's playing solo, in which case, fair enough. But unless they're playing solo and they find that the amalgams are stuck in a broom closet somewhere and they can't get out because that's where they spawned, that's bad pathing. More than likely, though, there's probably some other issue like, oh, I keep killing these crewmen and I can't find a key spawner. And then you just peek into the next tile over and there's 3 friends who are weaker, let's say, and couldn't kill the 2 amalgams. But this guy's like, but I can't find it. Must be bad pathing. They're not pathing to me. Yeah, you're not helping your friends. They're with your friends in the next tile over.
Okay, so let me just so 4 conduits colored red, white, blue, and cyan then appear on the map, require keys to activate, which are dropped by special units. Amalgams and heavy, often Xmas units everywhere else. So basically, you just kill a heavy unit or an amalgam, and there's a chance to drop a key.
Yeah.
So there's no official key bearer.
No.
Right?
It's just a subset of the mobs that will spawn.
Yeah. And when I was talking about this, sorry, I was looking this up. I don't know if you've actually said this. The whole separation of the group thing.
Yep, that was the last thing I was talking about. You can
So,
be in one corner killing as many corpus crewmen as you want, look over the next tile and your 3 friends that are a bit weaker having problems killing 2 amalgams that spawned. Doesn't matter how many corpus crewmen you kill in this tile over here, it's because you haven't realised your friends have got the amalgams and that no more are going to spawn because they've already spawned the amount that are to be played. They just haven't been killed because they're with your friends, but you're just solo heroing it the next tile over, killing billions of corpus crewmen. It won't make a difference. It's not, again, nothing to do with pathing or usefulness.
The biggest problem for actually, I think I just realized why we don't have such complex enemy AI. I think it's the net code.
Could be.
But regardless of that, what was I going to say? No, not that. So the most commonplace instance of spotting this is with relic farming, relic cracking open things, where reactant is not spawning anywhere near you, and it's because the reactant is spawning next to the other players.
The other players, yeah.
And if you've decided, oh, I'm going to go do my own thing, then, I mean, that's on you.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Maybe these people are playing solo, but I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever played solo and I've had these issues.
No. Yeah.
Should we move on to the next reply?
Yep. Movement in Warframe is fun. A seemingly perfect aimed rope that will snipe you in midair and drag you along the floor like a crying child being dragged out of Toys R Us. Toys R Us, rest in peace. Isn't fun.
I don't know if Toys R Us is dead in the States.
I think it is. Pretty sure it is.
Hold on. Toys R Us.
This is important. It needs to be answered right now.
Really? So ToysRUs.com still exists.
Yeah, I think they're just an online supplier.
There's a Toys R Us in Birmingham.
No way.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, correct that. No, it's I put in Toys R Us and it's picked up like all the other different toy stores in Birmingham.
Yeah, because Google, I think, probably knows that it's like, oh, this person doesn't know Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore. Quick, tell them about toy shops.
Yeah. They might exist in other countries, but
no, I'm pretty sure they're dead. Star Wars killed them.
Star Wars?
Yeah, the last 3 films, the sequel trilogy, they overstocked on it, or they were forced to by Hasbro, I think, and they just couldn't shift it. It was junk. No one wants to buy it.
Wow.
There's videos of like back lots of Toys R Us, and it's just stacks and stacks of Star Wars toys. There's probably other things into it as well. Obviously, things like Amazon things, but you know, one of the last things was Star Wars. That there was there's whole videos of people like showing you how much Star Wars stuff just wasn't being sold.
Oh no, there were only 2 locations open in the United States until they closed down in 2021 due to the financial losses from COVID-19.
Yeah,
So it was only recently that the last 2 branches actually closed.
Yeah, but that's like there's one
Yeah.
Blockbuster store still left, but I don't think
I get it.
Blockbuster still
No,
existing.
I do completely agree with you. But on January 20th, 2019, the company emerged from bankruptcy as True Kids. Wow, crazy. Anyway,
The more you know.
Yeah, but so
this person is complaining about the Scorpions and Ancients knocking you down. I think we said that you can mod for it, and there are a couple of options. We would like to see, though, maybe a mod that means you can't be sniped out of the air. So while you're in the air, you can't get knocked down. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because I think we worked out that probably the only example we could think of was Trinity with Link Up. Because obviously Atlas can't get knocked down while he's on the ground, but that's about it. I think there are like knockdown resistant mods I think you could have to mod it up to 100%, I think. But just one mod that just meant maybe an Exodus mod that while in the air, you can't get sniped. Because I do admit, it isn't fun when you're in the middle of a bullet jump and you go...
I don't know if this person's ever experienced Draco, because Draco, there were a lot of Scorpions and you were just constantly pulled out of the air. It was so frustrating.
The other thing we suggested, as we've done in the past, is it would be nice to see them telegraph, especially the Scorpions, like with like a red laser beam for a second or two before they shoot the thing, so that you know to move out of the way, or that you could block it with a melee weapon or something.
Well, I think the point is that these grappling hooks, like the grappling hooks aren't 100% guaranteed to hit you, because I've seen it where the grappling hooks are like flown by kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think what people don't realize is with the... I'm trying to remember how to... No, wait, is it... I think Grenier lead the shot. No, they don't, because they have hit scan weapons. Grenier shoot where you were, but the Corpus shoot where you're going to be. I think. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm not gonna
labor the issue.
Yeah. Regardless,
Last reply.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, maybe. Nullifiers aren't even that bad. They at least have visible counterplay. Energy Exami, on the other hand, have an invisible radius, and on higher levels leave you wondering where your energy suddenly went. Noxes are the best, though. Noxes are okay.
Yeah, well, you actually said that they were really good last time.
I didn't. I started out positively, and you went, "Oh, that means you're the best." I'm like, "No, I don't think they're the best. I think personally, nullifiers are the very best. If you want me to say something, but I think Noxes are okay. They're pretty good. I think they're pretty good. Good
I get where they're coming from with Noxes, but I do find that they're just too easy to kill when pop off your head.
Yeah, but at least it's something.
That's true.
At least it's something.
Yeah.
Right. So overall, though, I think it's a really interesting concept doing this Warframe enemy survey, but I think due to language issues and leading questions, they have not actually got to the crux of the issue of what needs to be added to Warframe and the enemies. And they're just still talking about like nebulous terms which mean nothing. The mobs have to have better pathing or better survivability. Like what? Huh? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean in actual gameplay?
Yeah, no, I concur with you on this one.
This is why the nullifier is so good, because what it does is it puts up an AoE bubble, which will affect, doesn't matter if you ping pong around directions, it's not omnidirectional. Any mob in it is protected. So it helps, it's doing things with other mobs. It knocks out one section completely of your things. Your Warframe powers can't touch it, right? So that's now out of play. So, one thing that does that is like, name something that makes your rifles out of play. I mean, maybe the mobs that take your weapons away, there's an example of it, but equivalent. But so the nullifier disables your Warframe powers, so they can't be in play unless you decide to pop the bubble in some way, or you can just take out the mob rather than take out the bubble. But you have to do it with a certain style of weapon in a certain way. Now, there are multiple options now. Rapid fire weapon, take down the bubble. Single shot, high damage weapon to take out the satellite. Then you take out the mob. Or then you use your Warframe powers. But you have to decide, make choices.
Here's a question for you. Is there an enemy, right, that disables your weapons.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is the boomerang throwing Grineer at ladies.
That takes it away from you.
That drop it on the floor, yeah.
When was the last time they stole your weapon?
About a month ago, I think. Before my weapon got taken from me. But not enough. I mean, it's a good example. I mean, something that to say that, because that's what basically it's doing, is it's not, I mean, you could say, oh no, that's different, it's taking the weapon away from it. It's like, no, actually what it's doing is just disabling your use of the weapon till you go to a predetermined spot and push a button. I mean, they could be on the tile, there's a gun, anti-gun radiation field on a certain tile that gets activated by the mobs, and you have to go to a certain console on the tile to turn it off. It plays out exactly the same as the boomerang disarm, but it's thematically different.
Yeah, I like the idea of, like, you know, why not have and what you do is you have the weapon out and you try to fire it and it just makes clicking sounds.
Yeah.
Like, you know, as if the gun's unloaded. Right?
Oh, can I make how about you won't get a Doctor Who reference, will you?
I don't know, maybe.
Quarter-line field expands the copper in the bullets, so the guns are ineffective.
Oh, is shit. I want to say Skagara.
Are the iron? No. It is S. It is S.
It's the potato people.
It is the potato people. Sontaran.
What are they called? Sontaran. Yeah.
Sontaran. So they had, I think, a quarter-line field. I think maybe it was Iron X. Yeah, no, it was iron, I think, because then they used copper bullets because copper wouldn't get excited by it. Yeah, so they used iron to expand the bullets in the guns, so the guns would just go and wouldn't shoot. There you go.
Hold on. Hold the fuck on.
Hold on. Oh. Holding on.
They try to use... I'm pretty sure copper bullets, the copper would shatter in the barrel.
You can make like I think, or maybe it says like copper alloy or something. It's something like that. We'll look it up later. It's science fiction, but at least they were trying. At least it was interesting.
Yeah, we expanded the iron, and you know,
I think it was the iron.
Your gun's inflated.
Yeah, basically they just made the bullets expand by like a millimeter or two, which meant they wouldn't shoot. Wouldn't?
No, they wouldn't.
Wouldn't they explode in the gun? Wouldn't the bullet?
Actually, yeah, there would be blowback.
Yeah,
and
it just wouldn't. But the bullet, the cartridge would still explode. It just can't go out the barrel.
Yeah, what they're better off doing is actually decreasing the volume, because then the bullet and the casing isn't a perfect snug fit, and
yeah, and then the explosion will
nothing.
Yeah, it will go out. It'll go poof. Be like, what? Because it'll have
and the gun will jam because there wouldn't be enough force to actually eject the cartridge.
Yes. Anyway, fun. But example, that would be kind of fun in Warframe if they did that kind of thing. But I also want to see rooms with like nullifier fields that deploy. I think that's a cool concept, you know, and it'd be like you can see the room, you can see there's bubbles, you can deal with it in your own way, you know. Anyway,
I mean, hell, if just to make it easy for DE, make them a portable unit, and then you know the enemy have set this up here, and you go in there and say, "Oh no, my gun don't work."
Yeah.
Anyway, right, are we done for this topic?
That topic is over.
Let's move on to topic 2. What's topic 2? Railjack crew capture versus defeat.
Defeat, but they're in foot.
Railjack crew capture versus defeat.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
So before we start, have you had a go at the new Corpus? Sorry, the new Corpus Railjack missions? You know?
Yeah.
Cool. You liking it?
Yes. I like the diversity in the actual missions where you have the points of interest, the optional side objectives, and the capital ship stuff. I like the integration between Railjack and the regular missions, which is like the capital ships. Yeah,
cool.
I'm regardless of the Railjack rework, I really like I mean, I kind of wish that they got rid of some of the bugs, but you know, that's a teething.
Don't we all? Just teething. But what is this topic about today?
Right. Okay. So, original topic says, could we have some way to bring fallen Railjack crew back from to full performance instead of dying when the bleed out timer is exceeded? the crew member is teleported off your Railjack. Oh no, that's a question comment. At that time, at that moment, a brand new and unique cruise ship. Why am I adding words? Right, brain. Ow. At that moment, a brand new unique cruise ship enters the map. A brig ship. The brig ship would be very similar to a cruise ship with one exception. One of your crewmates would be on board. The brig would act as a mini rescue mission to free captured AI. The brig can have all of its crew killed and rendered inoperable, but not destroyed, with AI crew still on board. An AI crew dying while a brig ship is present would send them to the ship, and if the brig is already breached, so basically a player's already on it, the brig would lock and kick any players off the ship, so you basically have to do it again.
Yeah.
Cool.
So within the mission, they want to get their crewmen back if they bleed out and they don't revive them in time, is what their goal is from this. Now, I can appreciate, because we always hate the fact that sentience disappears. Not sentience? Now I'm thinking the word wrong. Sentinels. Because I know the Jinn has it as an ability, but I think it should be baseline, but on a longer cooldown, of course. Because it's annoying when you lose your Sentinels. So this person's obviously having problems. I don't know if they're solo or with 2 people and 2 AIs. They're having problems when their crew people bleed out, and then they are 1 player down almost for the rest of their mission. And they're trying to come up with a way to get them back within the mission. I can appreciate that they're having a problem with that, but I think there probably a more simpler way would be to like add a health station to the Railjack that gives them like a 10-minute time. No, 10 minutes too long. Let's say 5-minute timer to bring the downed AI back, so it's down for a certain time. That sound good?
I was actually going to say like maybe a 1 or 2 minute timer, because you can teleport straight back to your Railjack. But one question I have, the footage that we're watching right now is you on your Railjack and you've got crew members. Did you ever experience your crew member going down? Like, was there like a message from Cephalon Sai saying, "Hey ho, your dude McDude face is sleepy time. You need to go pick him up"?
I know I revive at least 1 during this footage somewhere, or in the footage recorded. There was a point where it does revive 1 player, but I probably didn't notice it because Sai just spews out stuff all the time. You wouldn't notice because Sai's telling you all these other things.
You're not wrong. Yeah. You're not wrong. He does just go off ramble like hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Though I think one of the ideas in one of the recordings we did this that you suggested is let's go back to like a 4-minute timer, but that you can then spend resource to speed it up if you need to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So wait, was that on them coming? Oh, that was if they
the health
went to
terminal,
med bay.
the med bay.
Yeah, if they
you
went
would
to
speed it up.
the health cube.
The health cube. I was thinking more they were like stuck in the wall in like a little chamber like this, like embedded.
Yeah, no, totally. They should be in like is it a Bacta tank?
Yeah, the Star Wars.
Yeah. All right, shove them in a Bacta tank. They just like, I don't know, they teleport into a Bacta tank. And so you're saying that they have their 5 minutes on cooldown until they come back.
Yes, and then but you can inject them with Revelite that'll speed up. Fixes everything. Revelite does. And the reason for that fixes ships, fixes people.
No, hold on. So like Revelite is used to put out fires.
Yep.
And polyfill holes in the ship.
Yep.
And if you inject it in the veins of crew members, they die a little bit less. So like, what is this stuff?
It's magical sauce. But yeah, because the reason why is I feel that adding a extra step to being like an extra cruise ship is now on the map and you'd have to go out, get to it. And then let's say you've got a crewman who's downed and then goes onto the ship and then you go rescue them and you're halfway through clearing the ship and then one of your other crewmen goes down, you're now kicked back off the ship according to the system. It's a lot of busy work, I think. I do appreciate they have a problem with people going down and they want to get it back within the mission in some way, but I think there's a more simpler way of doing it. But yeah. So however... I
feel that there's a scenario that's not been thought of, which is like, first of all, I don't like the whole getting kicked off, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the player base would have a And the answer, so the question to that would be, well, why don't we just have another one, right?
Oh,
Just spawn in.
Hmm.
But could you imagine that? So you get another one spawn in, and you then have to go rescue your dude on that one,
yep.
right? And then in the meantime, your first dude fell over again.
Yeah,
right? So then a third one comes in, and then while you're getting your first one again, your third guy goes down.
That's
and
a good point. You'd be forever just.
You have like a graveyard of brig ships.
You've got the Grineer sitting in their ship killing asteroid, being like, "Are they going to come deal with us?" No, they're fine over there playing with those brig ships forever.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, if you have multiple ships. Plus, I think there might be a limit on the number of cruise ships which are actually allowed to be active.
I think they'd have to become part of the terrain, the scenery sort of thing. But I feel that a lot of the player base will just go, fuck it, I won't bother rescuing them, and they'll have to get them back at the end of the mission, because if they don't, the entire player base, like, oh no, you've not rescued your crewman, you've lost that crewman forever.
Oh, if they add that in, that's
no, that's a big no-no.
That's a big no-no. But I like the concept of rescuing NPCs from ships.
Yes.
And I know we previously, in the previous recording of this, we talked a lot about it. So what can we do with that concept of the idea of going onto ships and rescuing NPCs? What do you think?
So, yes, because I spoke about World of Warcraft last time, didn't I?
Yes, you did, actually.
Yeah, the train works! Sorry. No one else is going to get that. Right, so in World of Warcraft, in the current expansion, there is this tower, this prison tower, that you can ascend, and as you do, you can find friends, followers. If you've watched any of my YouTube shorts, be my friend, Al. You can you get this follower, and then they will do these follower missions for you. And what you could do with this, effectively, you could have these brig ships in Railjack as like the optional objective, and they do have a person that could potentially become part of your crew. So this could be like, I don't know, an actual Grineer enemy that has betrayed the, I want to say the Klingon Empire. Sorry, the Grineer Empire. The Grineer Empire. And so they're rejecting things, and they could join your crew.
Yeah.
Right. You could have all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. You could like capture and tame an infested, and it joins your crew. Much like a Helminth, right?
Well, that'd be good.
But this is like a mix of the Helminth and the Grey Strain or something. I don't know. But you could do stuff like this, and then they could join you to do potentially follower missions, which again, just remembered, in World of Warcraft, you have this follower table where you can send your followers, right, or your friends on missions to, I don't know, get you some resources, or like kind of pointless in World of Warcraft.
No, they do. There's some interesting rewards. It's a method. It's actually covering a lot of things in World of Warcraft. It gives you a extra way of gearing, because they offer gear rewards. It gives you the different resources for your professions. You can get through that. You get the anima, which is the progression of the main covenant, or the main thing. Yeah, you get anima from it.
Because and you can multiple times I've been to that table and I've not seen any anima.
Oh no, trust me. I get lots. I got a lot of my. Basically, what I do is I send 2 people on missions expending anima, and then the last mission actually acquires me anima to pay for the other missions.
That's rude.
Yeah, I've got so many people. And then you can also even get soul ash, which is for upgrading the legendaries through it.
Can you?
Yep, you can, and you get Stygia on that one as well. It's soul ash and Stygia, and then you also, when you get high enough, you get mounts and pets as well from those missions. Yes, though it looks like this little table, you send people off and they level up a bit and you don't get anything back, it actually expands and gets you loads of different resources.
And that's something that, so the idea I had was you could get, you'd have crew members. So even if you had a full team of 4 people in your Railjack, what you could do is you could have an optional like third, no, not third, it would be the fourth thing, which is just a follower mission. And literally all you have to do is drive your Railjack up to it,
Yes,
dock with
I remember
it,
this. Yeah,
send your crew member on it. You can load up the crew member before you do the mission, send your crew member on it, and then you just leave. You just do the rest of the mission.
yeah. So you're sort of depends. Sort of. Do you remember in when Lotus says at the start of survival missions that there's an operative doing something and you're the distraction? It's kind of like that. You're deploying the operative, and then you're going to fly around your Railjack as the distraction.
You made a really good comparison about the drones. What did you say?
Well, it's basically similar to what drones do in Warframe at the moment, because you just deploy a drone to a region and it goes and brings back resources, and there's no more depth to it at all. But if you could send off your follower, your crew people, additional crew people, and you've said one, but I think maybe you could put like a team of them together. You can send them off and do different. They can go do different objectives, and then let's say they come back in 5-10 hours, but then when you deploy them, there'll be another bonus objective in the Railjack mission where you can speed up that return by, like, if you blow up some of the satellites, it makes it easier for them to come back. And then there could be resources, rewards, mods, cosmetics that they bring back to you.
Yeah, because you did say you could either leave them to do like can't remember the numbers. I think you said 4 hours, or you could shorten it down to 2 hours. But like, well, I'm about to go to sleep, so I'm not going to bother doing.
Well, you're trying to do your Railjack mission, and you go, right, okay, I'm going to send them off. They'll return in 5 hours, but it's the last game of the night. I'm going to go to bed for 8 hours now. I don't care about doing the bonus objective, so I'll just leave it as normal. So you just then go finish your normal Railjack mission. Doesn't take you any extra effort. Or if you're like, okay, well, I want to try and get 3 of these in today, I'll blow up these now. All of a sudden on your map, you see all these like defense turret arrays are lying around, and you could fly around blowing them up. That makes their exit easier, and it cuts their time to get back to you by half. There you go. Bonus objective. Yeah.
So why is your necromech head constantly turning around in a circle?
Oh, in the footage. That's one of the abilities.
Yeah. What are you playing as? The Bone Widow?
No, the other one.
No. I know you got... Okay, so you're Void Rig. I didn't know it.
Yeah, but...
Oh, yeah, it's just stopped spinning its head. That's weird. What the hell was it doing?
I think it's because it's the cosmetic... The overriding cosmetic ones, and on the what's it called? Not Bone Widow, the
Void Rig.
The Void Rig. It's got that like metal cap at the top that spins, but the face is at the front. But on that model, the whole head is the thing, so the whole head spins around.
Some kind of horror doll situation. What ability was that?
It's the one that spews out electricity. I think it's the second ability. I can't remember the name of the
electricity at all.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't do much. But yeah.
Anyway. Sorry, random tangent. So
I at one point I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. It's like, stop spinning.
So one point, the core point of the original topic is that they want their crew members to come back
within the mission. We've
touched upon, does Sai even let you know that
he probably does, but he's got a lot to talk about. Sai does.
He's got a lot to talk about. We've also questioned. We've also touched upon. Hey, let's have the back to tanks and get them to revive.
Yeah.
One of the points that I came up with yesterday was having a proper roster. So right now you only see 3 of your crew members.
Oh, can you tell me something actually? This is embarrassing. Where'd you go to look at your crew members?
It's the dry dock.
Oh, okay. Because I went and bought them.
Of the tabs at the top.
I went and bought them, and then I was like, "I'll go to a mission." Oh, they're here now, right? Okay, go do things. Oh, look, they're doing things. Which one was the pilot? And you can't see me. Go do things.
Yeah, no, you can see their stats and everything.
Right.
They're
so how many can you have?
As many as you want.
Can you? Okay.
But you can only have 3 in the list. So that's so on the Railjack crew dude interface, you've got the 3 that is on your Railjack at any point in time. So you could have, I don't know how many crew members, say like, I don't know, 20.
Really?
At a guess. Someone in comments maybe will say, no, you can only have 5.
Do they need slots?
Honestly, I imagine so. Everything needs slots.
You're right. It is a good guess.
But the point is that you can only ever customize 3 easily. So if you want to, oh right, okay, so I need to customize my fourth. You have to swap out one of your 3 for the fourth dude to then customize them.
Right. Okay.
You then have to swap out one of your 3 to customize your 5th dude, so on and so forth.
Right.
Realistically, I want a list, right? So maybe there could be like a sub-tab system where this is your crew, these are your teams, right? And you just put together teams and things like you said, for the follower missions, the crew missions, or whatever. You could put together teams, and then you can customize them easily, right? And then maybe you could go, oh well, I'm going to swap around people in the teams. I'm going to, so on and so forth.
No, I think that sounds good. Yeah.
The idea was, instead of the whole back to tank thing, so in XCOM,
yes,
in the 2 most recent XCOM, when one of your dudes is injured during missions, they're not dead, but they are injured. They take in-game days to recover. So, like, oh, I've broken my arm, right? Well, you've got to have a cast. Have you ever broken a bone?
No.
Oh God.
You?
I'm trying to think of. No. I'm trying to think. I don't know how long you're in hospital for when you've broken a bone.
No, but it's the same as a sprain or something. You require days to rest up without putting any weight and stress on it, so you can't really be sent off. No,
it's the whole hospitalization. Okay, fine. I've been in hospital for my heart, right? And I was in hospital for 4 days. Oh my God, I could not wait to get out. Yes, I counted the days. I was in there for an extra day because of an allergic reaction to some sodding Tesco muffins.
Ooh.
Anyway.
What type of muffins?
The chocolate.
Ooh, weird.
Yeah, I had such a horrible allergic reaction to them that they were concerned it was a reaction to the medication.
Oh.
Yeah, but anyway, so so I was in hospital for 4 days, so on and so forth. That's the whole point. So if your crew member who is not a Warframe, right, is injured, they would be off the crew, so to speak, until they have recovered. So this could be 5 hours, this could be 5 days, whatever, right? It's this whole mini game element to it, and you swap out other crew members.
Yeah. I like that. No, yeah.
You could have the back to tanks in your dojo, right? You could put like an actual med bay in your dojo.
Do you know, I instantly love that concept, and then my brain kicks into gear and says, wait, they've already like been working on getting you could put like a lesser version in Relays, though. You have to, because we have to accommodate people who don't have dojos. But that one you can't like speed up, maybe, or that one takes a long time.
Or maybe
like the public one in the Relay, using the scummy public healer.
You to have like 4 people in,
but
the dojo one you can build multiple of.
And then it'd be really cool. So, because I don't know if we mentioned on this time, but like people might be asking, what's the point of getting additional people through this method versus ticker? And that it could be that these people have like special bonus abilities, but then you can have it in the dojo that you also, while they're being healed up, you can also like inject them with stimulants to like develop them and skill them up and give them like new abilities and things.
That was something in XCOM too. You could actually.
Oh, could you?
No, I can't remember. So in XCOM, The Enemy Within, which was the expansion to the
first game.
Yeah, I can't. Fuck, what was the first? I can't remember. I want to say The War Without, but I mean. That's the one cinematic quest we haven't had in Warframe yet. You know that they made reference to The War Without, right?
The War Without? Wait, The War Within?
Yeah, so Lotus says in the second dream, The War Without and The War Within, which is supposed to be the prelude to The War Within, the next cinematic quest.
Oh dear. Really? I didn't even know about that one.
I imagine that's supposed to be what the new war is. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make.
XCOM. Jugs, injecting people.
In the first one. Yeah, you could either go this whole biological route, or you could go cybernetics.
Oh, and yes.
What you could do is you just like, oh, you see this thing below the neck? What? Your body. I'm going to chop that off. I'm going to put on a cyborg body. And then you can get into mechs. Right.
But I don't
again,
want to.
like,
We're fighting aliens. You don't get a choice, son.
Yeah.
Get in that mech.
And then there's a mind control alien that takes over your mech, and then it slaughters your entire team and scares the other mech, and the other mech runs away. And you're like, you're a mech. Why are you scared? Sorry. Random. But yeah, I mean, like, again, you could modify your dudes. You could, and just make it a bit of I don't know, like, what the perception is of these real-time sort of social games, right? I know World of Warcraft has gone really heavy on them. I know that, but things like, it always brings me back, like things like Farmville. Oh yeah, come back tomorrow when we've built your plot of corn. Right?
Yeah, I don't think people against them when that is all the game is. But like in World of Warcraft, like you can do all the follower table stuff on an app. I don't think anyone minds that because it's just it lets you link into the game without it being the main thing of the game. The whole game is still there. It's just supplementing the game.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
If we brought in this follower stuff, I think it's not a problem. If it has to be doable via the phone. Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It has to be doable via the phone app, right? Even if it's just collecting your dudes back or managing your dudes so that they get their bonuses or their buffs, their extra arms, their whatever, right? But should you be able to do it while you're logged into the game from your phone?
I think isn't that a more of an issue of multiple connections into the if the server allows it problem more than?
Well, I can't see a reason why
not.
Why it shouldn't be able to allow simultaneous connections.
I think the WoW one doesn't let you do it.
The WoW one definitely doesn't let you do it. The Warframe one definitely doesn't let you do it.
Can you? I know you can collect stuff from the Foundry in the Warframe one. Can you deploy drones from the Warframe one?
Yes.
Oh, cool. So you can already do this kind of stuff. So it's just expanding on that.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't deploy unless we didn't do the thing that I've suggested with deploying.
Oh no, I like both. I like that. There'd be ones you deploy in mission, and then there's like lesser ones where you send them to like go to relays and like parlay with people. So there's like multiple ways of deploying them. I like both. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, because I wouldn't want to lose I love the mid-mission one where you kind of like, you finish the objective, but you kind of dock your ship just to deploy a troop team to go do some espionage and you fly off. I love bonus objectives and variety in missions, so that I think you can't lose that. Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to think. I feel that the mid-mission ones need to be slightly better.
Yes. Oh no, it'd be a complete thing. Yeah. No, one would be just for like maybe you get a little bit of syndicate rep or something. Whereas like most of the cool stuff, like they come back with a relic or radiant relic or something. That would be missions.
Actually, there's a point, right?
Yeah.
Can we just get syndicate rep if we send one of the syndicate members? Right. So if we send someone that's Red Veil and someone that's Steel Meridian, we get Red Veil and Steel Meridian rep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And obviously the ones you just do outside your phone would be like minor amounts, but then the ones in missions would be more. I think it'd be cool. Yeah. That's a good one. I like that. Additional ways of getting
Syndicate
rep. Now, one thing I remember I brought up yesterday when we recorded this is we've just come up with all these cool things which would be so great to add in. But I think the followers, or what I call them followers already, the crew people that you bring in for ship is actually at the moment in Dee's mind and view just designed as a way to let people solo play Railjack, and it has now completed that goal and they think that's finished, but I would love to see it expanded upon. But some people might say, well, but I can't use them in multiplayer. But actually we've actually come up with a good way of how you can, even if you've got 4 players in a mission, you could still do a deployment thing, or everyone could do a deployment thing, so that'd be kind of cool. So we have brought them in. But people would say, oh, I can't use them, they're just for solo play. So I think the extra thing I came up with, because as you were saying with the injury system, which I thought also was cool, was that maybe it would be worth adding in a solo play mode like FTL for it, where there'd be a series of 15 missions you have to do solo with your team, and they get injured and things, and you can replace them onto your cruise ship as you go through the missions, just to allow for the injury thing.
Yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe you have a backup team.
Backup teams, yeah. Yeah.
So on the roster, you have the crew, backup crew, and then your deploy squads.
Your deploy squads, yeah.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it because I just something I thought up when you were talking earlier. And you're saying about the new war and things. This actually really feels like it's almost like your Warframe and Tenno are expanding in their scope of operations. They're actually almost putting together an army and rallying people ready to fight the sentients. It actually feels like you're moving from just a solo assassin to being to actually progress into how you would fight a war. You need armies. You need people to support and bring you logistics and things. I just think it's so cool.
Oh, one thing I do want to highlight. You should be able to control you should have this follower table, right? This follower UI, right? Nearly accessible everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Right? So this is one thing that always pisses me off with World of Warcraft. The follower table is in one place, right? But I'm here. I'm visiting my friend's zone. Why can't I use his follower table to coordinate? So there needs to be the follower tab on your Lisette, your Railjack, the dry dock, the relays, including like Fortuna, the Necrolisk, and Cetus. Anywhere that is a sort of like a home station, the dojo. Well, no, that was the dry dock, wasn't it? There needs to be access to this.
Yeah.
Anywhere that you have access to your arsenal, you should have access to your
team arsenal.
Tab.
Yeah. And you keep going.
No. I was just going to reiterate. It just pisses me off in WoW.
Oh, yes. No, I give you that. I was also going to say, I think one other thing we said is that, because this person's whole point was about freeing people, that there was a chance that your team get captured in their mission, and then it opens up a new mission, random chance for you to go rescue them.
But as a separate thing.
As a separate thing, yeah.
Yeah. Again, really like that.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
Right. Because I don't know how many of these social mission integration things WoW follows. I don't know how much you've done it.
Loads.
In other games as well.
Oh, yeah, I've done,
right?
yeah.
Right. My question for you
is
what is the longest time you would accept for a follower mission? Right?
Okay. Well,
right?
It depends how you structure it, because some of the WoW ones, let's say, or the one to get Soul Ash, is a 24-hour one.
Yeah.
So there's sort of like bonus super rare super missions which take a day. But most of them are around 5 hours and things. But you can then, that's something I haven't done, is you can upgrade your table, I think, to take like 30% off the time. So that you do have options to reduce it, but you can't rush them. That's one thing. I would say a day.
24 hours.
24 hours. Oh, 23 hours because of like a former. That's the most you can. Yeah, that's what I would say. Why?
Sure. Well, I always prefer to set them when I go to bed and then get up and pick them up, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to say like 7.5, 7 hours.
I would say for the normal ones, yes, but like the super rare ones, you'd get maybe once a month or once a week, or you have to work up to unlock that are like special ones.
I'm also not opposed to. I think this is the thing. There shouldn't be any options between 7 and 24 hours.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, 1 to 7, and then there's the special ones that like so, or maybe 1 to 7, semi-rare ones which are very rare turn up at 12 hours, and then the super ones at 24. But you only get like a handful of those ever, kind of thing.
Well, see, I'd rather go like 24, 48, or a week.
Okay.
Right? So either if you're going to super long it properly.
Well, but even a Warframe only takes 3 days. Week's a long time. That better do something amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, it would have to be like something pretty, like maybe there's multiple things they come back with. It's like, oh yeah, we brought back this huge cache of stuff.
Well, actually, I mean, if they come back with like 3 former recipes, but it takes them a week to do it, that's still pretty good. I mean, that's 3 former recipes, but no work.
Yeah.
You just go click and they go.
The other thing, right? No bullshit resource.
Right?
Right? So with the WoW thing, you always have to spend a resource in order to earn a resource.
Yeah.
And it is just such a way to just, oh yeah, we're giving you so much resource. Yeah, but the net profit is tiny.
Yeah.
Right? There's next to no point in me doing it.
Yeah. That's like I say, like I've only now reached the point where I send 2 people off on missions, and then the third mission just about pays for. First of all, you have to spend resource to get them to go get the resource, and then that just about pays for the other 2 missions. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
That's the thing I'd really love people to comment on is the whole, this follower mission idea.
I've got only one more comment to add, question on this before we round it up. Are you allowed to rush it for Plat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess we need. Yeah.
I'd also be happy with rushing it for other resources, but like bucket tons.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I think that, you get the idea.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, come back in like 15 hours, 38 minutes, and 12 seconds. Why such an arbitrary time? Because we want to interrupt your day. That's what it feels like. Anyway. Should we?
Yeah, I think we'll round off. Let's go to the replies quickly because we just got. I love this concept. I remember when this is obviously our recording of it, second recording of it, but it really did inspire us. The basic idea of what we could do. But I just reiterate that point. I do feel it's a bit sad that I think DE are just like, no, this is just so for solo players. No, don't come up with ideas for it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully these are like really simple ideas.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, expanding on the concept of the drones, it's already in there in the game.
Oh my god, I just thought to myself, right? What you could do with the Railjack, if one person docks with this, like all team members are like, oh, do you want to send a squad to do a mission?
Yeah. So even in 4 people playing, there would still be a reward for people to access the system. So it does... Yeah. It's not just for the solo. That would be good, yeah. Right, okay. Reply 1. Could even be taken a step further, where if you don't rescue your crew from the brig ship before completing the mission, they get temporarily locked, and you get a special rescue mission to go save them before you can assign them to your Railjack crew again. You could also have something like a loyalty level that slowly ranks up as you take them on missions, rescue them, and such. And the higher their loyalty level, the more efficient they are. Maybe could even unlock certain abilities they can use or something. Now,
I really like... Go on.
I remember 2 points on this. 1, I don't like the you'd only have to do. I think you'd have to make it that the kidnapped and you can't use them again for the high level missions. Like it should never happen on the first 2 level planets, because the whole point of this is that get more solo players in the Railjack. And I remember saying this yesterday that some people can't play. We have to remember can't play with other people due to internet issues. So if you those people are trying to play Railjack, they're trying to get on with it, and they get on with it, but they lose a crew member, like, oh, well, I have to go buy another crew member now, or they can't manage the mission or whatever. It's just more barriers this entry to this person getting onto Railjack. And the other thing is they're saying about all these bonuses for rescuing them and things. You don't want to make it that you're going to pilot your ship out and then go, right, everyone go get kidnapped because I want bonus resources. I want to go rescue you.
Like,
just throwing them to get kidnapped.
I mean, I feel that the loyalty stuff should be on the... Yeah, actually, no, thinking about this is... Yeah, no, I didn't actually... I always thought that the loyalty thing, the ranking up thing, that was just like, oh yeah, just play with your crew member. Just have your crew members on the ship.
Who's a good crew member?
And then... yeah, pretty much. But you've actually got a really valid point. They have tied this together, isn't it? So it's like, so instead of a 30-minute Railjack mission with 4 people, you could spend an hour and 15 minutes doing a solo Railjack mission because you've lost your crew members. You have to go get them through the busy work, and if you don't get them, you have to go rescue them
or buy some more. Leave them.
Buy some more. Can you just imagine Ticker goes like, "No, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off. You've gone through 30 today. I'm not giving you any more."
Why do you keep doing them? Oh, they're just no good. Did you send them back into prison with the corpus? Just disappear. I don't know.
There's a HR complaint against you. You know, we can't have you in the same space anymore. Or all the Imagine that'd be hilarious.
Would be. Right. The last reply is: this should come with a good incentive, or crew members will suffer the same fate as companions. Kubras in particular. Too much maintenance for such little gain.
Stupid loyalty bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, do you need your head pats?
Oh, okay. Let me just inject you with more drugs. You're turning into soup on the floor again.
I do get where this person's coming from. Like, damn, I really want to play XCOM now. There is so much valid point to the comparison with what's been proposed and Kubros, because Kubros, we need Pets 2.0, like, not massively badly, but it suffers horrendously without it. And I feel something. I feel that the followers need to take care of shit. 2 birds, 1 stone. Get your followers to look after the Kubros.
That'd be good. There we go. Yeah.
Take them out on walkies.
Oh, you could also maybe even deploy. You'd put like pets with the crew missions as well, like and there's certain bonuses, or certain missions require certain pets. Like they need a Kavat because they're going stealthy.
Oh my god! Wait, Kavats? No, that's Kubros.
Oh, okay. They need to be lucky, or they need crit buffs. What do Kavats do? I don't know. You know what I mean?
They farm stuff. They're the luck kitty. It finds. Oh my god! No, this is just really. And the thing is, there's no visual component.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's all UIs. It's just you just send them off and things. And you could have like infested missions that require Kavats because they need the like if you don't send them with the Kavat because it's against infested and the Kavats eat infested, don't they? So you know like it like increases the luck because they get bonuses against
Oh man. This is just becoming huger and huger.
Yeah. And you could do it from your phone. I always think that Warframe needs some more tying in because literally just getting things from the Foundry is just like, okay, that's great, but
the thing is, I wouldn't resources and everything, but I think this should be like a self-feeding system. So you're leveling up your dude. Like I love the loyalty, the ranking up. The crew members gain more abilities and things. I feel that it should be sort of like a self-fueled system. Right?
Yeah,
and don't. Like this is one of the sloppy things that I find with World of Warcraft is if you're go get me some Argon. Okay, Chief, we'll be back in 4 hours time. I could fucking get nearly 100 Argon in that time.
Yeah, well, it's like the drones you can send off.
2 idiots. What?
The drones you can send in to go to Venus drone and bring me something. Oh, polymer bundles. Good, I needed those.
Yeah, but that's the point though, isn't it? It's like you could just go do it yourself faster.
Yeah.
So I feel that the resources that they get should primarily be for them.
Oh yeah, like I would love if you get like you could cosmetically upgrade them and things. I mean, because the models already exist, and you just put like attachments and things to them, and give them different weapon upgrades and things. Yeah, and it would be a self-fulfilling system. And eventually, they'd get cosmetics for you, though. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think they should get cosmetics for you, and I do think there should be some weapons in there for you.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So go get because it takes so long. I'm gonna say it's like here's the weapon blueprint. You don't need to get any barrels or anything like that. Just the blueprint.
Oh yeah, right? Definitely. Yeah. Well, we like it that way, but I'm sure D would be like, oh yeah, but we can put like the barrels and the stock and the.
But this is a dangerous territory area sort of thing because. Like this could either make or break because like look at World of Warcraft again, like farming anima is the only thing to do right now. Well, I could be wrong on that. It feels like the major thing to do, and it just takes so fucking long.
Yeah, definitely. Well, anima, souls, and soul dust and whatever. But I would say now you said about weapons, and I was a bit worried for a second. I thought, hang on a minute, aren't people going to complain about weapons? But we are now at the point where anyone can get to master rank 30, aren't we?
Yes.
So that barrier has been removed. So unless, okay, maybe if they make the most overpowered gun for whatever in the follower system, like the Kuva Brahma or whatever it was that everyone like over, if they make a weapon of that tier, then people might be like, oh no, I find it really hard to access it. Blah, 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 blah. But you know, you just got to play it more. So it's not a big deal. In fact, in fact, it's almost entirely self-contained, apart from getting more people from Railjack missions. So no, there's no complaints. Once you've got the people, then you just have to play the system, which is just going over to a thing or playing it with your phone. Yeah. I like it. Anyway, I think we've talked all around this issue and made this really cool idea, which will never happen. It sounds really good. It's so good.
I'd be interested to hear what people say.
Yeah. I would love to. Yeah, I can't wait for that. Yeah, but anyway, so let's round us off this topic.
Yes, graphs. Now, That's
okay.
Not the graphs. That's the graphs. Okay, hold on. Yes.
Oh.
God damn it. Right. Oh, God. And yeah, do you remember we had to pause it because no wasn't appearing?
Yes. Right. Yeah, graph 1. And
okay,
also,
so
my thing's working.
Turn off the topics and hit graph 1.
Oh, no. I was on the things and then I got it in the right... Oh, no, it's got buttons for this. There we go. Topics off. Graph 1.
Graph 1.
Yes.
Right, okay. Do you think DE needs to rework the Warframes AI? Yes, I did accidentally put a there in there. So they don't need to force everyone on the Corpus Capital ship. 21% said no opinion / don't care. 43% said no, and 57% said yes. The only way I could see this functioning, and I'm going to try and verbatim what I said yesterday, is you would have to force a host migration.
Okay.
And then a host reintegration.
Oh, okay.
When the capital ship is done. So I think the most concerning part is what happens if the host goes onto the capital ship. Anyone that's not on the capital ship would have to host migrate away to maintain the state of play with the Corpus ship.
Yeah.
And then the reintegrate, like, how do you divvy up rewards and things like this? So if people...
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. So you were saying that. So because basically, because the thing is that Scott basically admitted that there's only so much resource AI capacity to be in different locations. So what you're suggesting is that the game splits the team into 2 separate missions to allow the allocation of more AI to each separate mission, and then bring them together at the end.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember I described this as it's Squad Link, but with extra steps.
Yes.
It starts together. Squad Links comes together again.
In all honesty, I think if we turned to people and said, like, you know, if you want to do this, but it requires host migration, host reintegration, are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah,
I think people would turn around and say no.
What happens if you are in team, or because it would have to, when it splits you, what happens if during the split it drops you and then it lets you rejoin, but it's going to have to remember that you were all the resources you got from the previous split and then into the split. And then if you're in team A, do you get any of the resources from team B in their split section?
So let's simplify this. Let's say, no, they don't. Right? I mean, I know the player base is going to want to say, yes, they do, but I'm pretty sure we're going to, let's just say for sake of argument, no, they don't. The next point is, if you got players 1, 2, 3, 4, and you got sessions A and B.
Yeah.
Right? So 1 is the host for the Railjack mission.
Yeah.
Right? And they decide to go to the capital ship.
Yep.
Right? Players 3 and 4 decide to stay on the Railjack.
Yep.
Yeah? Oh, no, I've just thought of this. Yeah, okay. Players 3 and 4 are now on the Railjack. So 3 now becomes the host of session B.
Yeah.
Right? And 4 joins B.
Yeah.
Right?
That requires a host migration screen right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's probably at risk of falling to pieces. Right. Now, let's change it. We've got players 1, 2, and 3 on Squad A and player 4 on Squad B. What happens if player 4 disconnects?
Oh, yeah. And especially if they haven't finished their objective, they just disappear.
It becomes super complicated.
Yeah, I mean, if the mission requires both sides to be finished, it'll have to not. It'll have to just be if whatever Squad A do finishes there, brings them back to conclusion without the other section even functioning. Oh, yeah. that's a headache. I don't even know how that would work.
Then, right, so if Squad 3, so if Squad B, which is like players 3 and 4, and you've got Squad A, which is 1 and 2, A 1 and 2, B 3 and 4.
Yep.
If A 1 and 2 finish, right, but B 3 and 4 haven't even done the objective, should they count as being completed the mission?
Yeah. Does it then give them a timer to finish their section? But then you'd have Team A who would just basically sit waiting to not finish their objective, not to activate B's timer, so they couldn't continue. Or do A go back into the end mission waiting for B team to finish?
It becomes like a real spider web of possibilities.
Yes, it does.
So I'm not surprised that they've turned around and forced everyone into the capture mission.
Yeah.
Sorry, the capital ship mission.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I don't like it thematically, but I can appreciate that we're bridging at limitations of functionality here.
I think the real problem is that we shouldn't be asking the question, should DE do this? But we should be asking the question, why should DE do this? Why do you want DE to separate out the teams like this? And if it's a case of, well, I want to go do the point of interest, but this guy's just gone and done the capital ship, they forced me into the capital ship, then I think a better solution is to just go do the mission with incentive, right? So, I want to go do this node on public or whatever, and I want to do all of these parts. I want to do the whole thing, or I want to do the side objective, or I just want to do the capital ship. Yeah. Listing intent, I think, would really heavily influence or diminish this problem. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm with you.
Cool. Right. Should we move on to the second one?
Yeah. That could be a big hangover. Yeah. Let's move on.
Hit 2.
Oh.
Cool. Right.
I brought it up on my little Discord window, and I'm like, "Yep, I'm ready. I keep forgetting.
Oh wow. Okay. So, do you like the idea of Plexus niche mods for specific roles on Railjack? 7% said no. 93% said yes.
This is we were asking for like extra super turret. Oh no, it was plus turret damage minus repair time or piloting skills sort of things. Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. I would really like to see DE implement this.
Yeah.
Again, if people have ideas, feel free to throw them our way. Next one, number 3. How do you feel about the Railjack rework? 22% said neutral. 26% said I'm holding judgment till it's on console. I thought it was important to include the console things.
Always.
And then 56% said positive. So I'm in the positives. So.
Yeah, no. I mean, you can see me having my first go at it, selling mods, getting people. I mostly thought it was good, apart from somewhere in the footage where I experienced the problem last week's thing where it's like, right, I'm in the gun. Shoot the ship. Hold the ship steady. No, where are you going? Where are you going, pilot? Oh, dear.
Why does this not add up?
Which one?
22 plus 26 is 48. 48 plus 56 is more than 100.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Not sure why that's wrong. Hold on.
But people select must be able to select multiples, I guess.
No, I don't know. There might be something confused in the system.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on to the next one. Do you feel ripped off by the Railjack reimbursement?
Oh,
4%.
if I got the wrong one, I think I got the wrong one. Sorry, hang on. There. Let's check that.
No, that's 3.
Oh, 4.
Put it back to 4. Yeah.
1,
that
2,
is right.
3,
Got it right.
4. Oh, it's not in the order in my thing. Okay, yeah, I've got it.
Cool. Do you feel ripped off by the Railjack reimbursement? 4% said yes. 96% said no.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said that they had issues with it. Just ask support, because they said they lost all their stuff. Ask support, talk to them. They're really good about sorting that kind of stuff out.
Yeah. And then the last poll, 5. Right. Do you say end game or high level content? 21% said end game. 79% said high level content. Loz wins.
I feel I don't know if they're just saying it because they want to. It's like, that's what they say. Yep. But no, that's good. Hopefully we're going to do it. Hopefully we can push this concept forward. I think I'm gonna. I don't know if you want to do one as well, but I'm gonna do a video of like the term end game is bad. We need to put it like an example so we can just go like link to that video, show people why it is a terrible term.
Indeed,
it's like the term game over in some ways. I've been thinking about this. The term game over both means you failed and you finished the game.
Finished, yeah.
But really,
it's a state of success and failure.
Yeah, I think originally it just meant the game is over. You have finished the game.
Yeah.
But then it got used as game over, you failed. And it's like that, and that is actually the primary thing. I don't like it when they say game over because you finished the game. It feels like I have failed.
Yeah.
But really, the term means both. And it's the same for endgame.
I'm pretty sure the original Sonic game on the Sega Mega Drive, once you finish the game, it says game over.
Game over. I don't like that. It feels bad.
Even though there's like a happy Sonic and, there's all the little animals jumping around. And
you saved all the Chaos Emeralds? Because if you don't, if you don't, then on the game over screen, Robotnik's juggling them.
Oh, I don't remember that. Anyway, but yeah, so what was I saying?
Game over, endgame.
Yeah, endgame, yeah. Right, well, I think that's it for the graphs. So if you want to turn off the graphs,
graphs
move
off.
On to the supporter questions.
Okay, Tobiah, you're a bit manic.
Okay.
Yes. Do you feel Warframe is hard to keep up with, depending on how much you try to keep up?
Yeah, it has different levels to it. Like the information dissemination is something I think we both primarily focus on, but then you've got the meta aspects of gunplay, like top DPS, stuff like that, which neither of us really focus on.
Yeah.
And how do you combine stuff? Like you got top men like Zandy,
men.
He works this stuff out like nothing. But for me, I'm just like, I just do what I'm told.
Yeah, I'm with you on that 100%, because I feel I do keep up with the overall feel of the game, but I don't keep up with every single mod and how every single mod affects the current meta build for Nidus or the current meta build for a Nyros, or because an augment might come out, or a kit gun might come out with an arcane, or an arcane for the Warframes come out, and if you have that kit gun with that arcane plus that melee weapon with that arcane plus that arcane for the Warframe with that set mod and that augment, you now can do this. I mean, I don't keep up to that for this particular Warframe, so I don't keep up with that. But just keeping up with just the base level of it, yeah, fine. Mods are the only thing. The only feeling I feel is a little bit more just like base mods. I feel like because like some of the combo mods, some of them are really good, and you take this, that, or the other. I feel hunter munitions in my mind for some reason, that kind of thing. Like, oh, you got to use that for this and that for this and that.
Yeah.
Big Beard 90. Oh, sorry. What is it?
Hunter Adrenaline. All the way.
100 that's the one, yep. Big Beard 93. Would you rather keep getting Levarians of Warframes or get quests filled with lore about the certain Warframe? Levarians or quests?
I feel that the Laverians are richer in lore. I think I'd rather the Laverians.
There we go.
But it really just depends.
I think it'll be interesting to see how Sevagoth's going to be working.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be a good, interesting example. Zrugal asks, before I read out Zrugal's question, I just want to ask our lovely audience to smash that like button and comment down below. I promise you we read each and every comment. It should have been an hour, but thank you. Then it's all crossed out. Would you do a Destiny 2 podcast for April Fool's Guardian Clock? Crossed out. Oh, well, that's... Never mind, April 1st will be already over by the time you read that. Maybe next year. That'd be funny.
I wanted to do an April Fool's this year, but it didn't happen.
Maybe we should save that for next year, Destiny 2. That's a good idea, Zrugal. And then Zrugal asks, Xeno VR chat when?
I don't know, do you want to buy me a VR system?
Yeah, VR chat, I mean, oh god, and I'm going to spend more on it. So just for highlighting the issue for people at home, so how much have I spent here? I've got like, I think £1,000 on the index for the knuckles, the headset, the 2 base stations. Then I've spent £100 on this one tracker. I'm probably going to spend £260 on 2 new trackers because Xeno convinced me to go for the good ones. So I'm going to get 2 more trackers. Then there's the skin, which, I mean, I'm going to pay somebody really cool to hopefully finish making the skin to replace it with my actual skins. That's more money. Yeah, so it's a big investment. Oh, plus I need space, and I don't think Xeno has the space in his... maybe he could fit it in, but
I would have to get rid of the shelves.
You need to get rid of the shelves, so it's like a big thing. However, maybe we are trying to get maybe a small avatar thing for Luppet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe a little bit, and that'll have a hand tracking at least and head tracking. Right. Again, we need to wait on the same person doing the model, but he'll get them done.
Yeah.
I believe in him. Thalian. Given that DE have been remarkably bad about making actual progression from one end of the game to the other, for example, the new Corpus ship tiles being permanently active, meaning the Deadlock Protocol's quest premise of upgrading the fleet won't really make sense for new players, what are some of the major points you think DE should address for players as a way of actually progressing the game world as they progress the story and the star chart? An example I think they should...
Fucking Alad V makes no goddamn sense.
You're right, but hang on, let me finish that point. An example I think they should include is that the relay Railjack dock shouldn't appear until after a player completes the Arcwing quest. Okay, maybe, but yeah, you were saying Alad V.
Yeah, I mean,
Alad V.
Fucking Alad V. Like, so he starts off. Oh god. Normal and happy. And then that's I don't know if that's in the game anymore, because now it's like all about this whole amalgam spy bullshit on Jupiter.
Yeah.
Right. And then I don't know if amalgams are locked behind you doing the second dream or not. But then
God, they must be though, because you get
he's all
Lotus.
asking you for, oh, please help me, Tenno. I need the cure to... No. You don't even get the cure part. He's then all slightly infected as like, oh, I'm helping you, Tenno. I'm very curious about how you work and function. And then all of a sudden you're on Eris and he's all like, le-fucked. But in terms of plot, Eris happens before the second dream, which happens... The second dream happens before Jupiter. So why is Alad V's plot backwards?
Yep. You got nothing on it because it is just a terrible, terrible thing. Yeah.
Eris needs to be earlier in the star chart.
The
simplest solution.
Yeah, it would help. But then you want also like a special Alad V quest or something to like give you the starting introduction to who the hell this character is and why he's talking to you like he knows you.
The thing is, like, Alad V gets infected post. So you had the hunt for Alad V, which was the event. We don't need to include that.
No.
But after his death, you had the
death
introduction. Well, Luke Skywalker, Cloud City, hanging off or something.
Well,
he gets infected. What?
Well, the whole thing, because it skips over the whole Zanuka project. Just gets dropped in all this. You know, which is really cool. The whole taking warframes, ripping them to pieces, and building proxies out of them. That was his starting point.
If someone's able to confirm this, right? Because I haven't done this part, you know, I'd have to start a new account again. But, you know, the amalgam stuff is going to be as soon as, because like the amalgams are throughout all of Jupiter, aren't they? They're not just on the last Ganymede node, are they?
No, I think they appear entirely on that tile set. I think. Right. I'm not sure if it requires second dream from spawn, but yeah.
All right, and then oh god, this it's just a mess. Realistically, Eris needs to happen before the second dream, and we need that narrative between the two men of Rigor, where Alad V needs your help to get a cure, right? Because that's completely missing.
Yeah. It's entirely in a quest, and it is one of the transition states from him being infected to being not infected, which is his now actual canonical state for any quest going forward that have him.
Yeah. Alad V.
Alad V. Xeno had his first supporter gaming session recently, and to help this, he shared his game library to show what games he could readily access for the event. Unfortunately, we saw it in the list. We saw Face Rig Xeno, forget Xeno VR chat, why have you failed to Face Rig Xeno, why must you crush our hopes?
Because Face Rig stopped
doesn't work. It just
bought it.
does. I bought it to do that. It does not work. We tried. We looked online. We couldn't find a way to work it. It's now basically a virus on my computer, so that in all my camera lists, there's bloody Face Rig. I can't remove it. I'm going to have to rip the whole thing bloody out. It does not work. Just doesn't work. And remember,
it doesn't work.
Yeah, Xeno used to use Face Rig originally for his vlogs. He used to use it, so we, you know, he has used it in the past. If you want to see, you can go watch those. But we tried. We really tried. Doesn't work.
I can't remember what part of it didn't work. Was it the integration with Discord, or?
It's just we couldn't get it onto the webcam. It wouldn't. It wouldn't acknowledge it. It wouldn't activate. It was just like click, nothing. And it really annoys me because what's the term? First in, best served. Or best served, first in. I can't remember. But like, you know, Face Rig was the first one of these sort of things, and it was like the name. It's even got a really good simple name. It doesn't work. It's awful. You can still buy it. We just can't get it working. Just. Don't worry, we'll get him with his Oberon sooner rather than later. Yeah. Lap it. Works better. And I'll lend him a hand tracker and hand tracking and everything. Be really cool. Right, that's it for supporter questions.
Hand trackers?
Well, no, it's just one little. Oh, I'm not using it, so it's just one little. I think it's £100 for this little Luppet device that goes there. You just put it on your chest. You can have to like have a belt or something. Put it on your chest, and then you can have hands as well.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I've got this now, so yeah. But yeah. What's it called? It's called a Leap Motion controller. That's what it's called. Right. That's it for supporter questions. Let's go on to
the community responses.
Comments. Okay. First, JJ24 and Panda242. We have a non-combat focus mission. It's Spy. You can do that mission without firing a single shot.
Blow them up.
Countered by Edward Paddock, not in a meaningful way. The game does not reward or even acknowledge if you complete a spy mission without being seen or ever using a weapon anyway. If anything, you are punished for not doing so. You can do a sabotage mission like that too, of course, or rescue. Yeah, and that's the point. I think spy, if it gave you a bonus for like getting in and out undetected, no weapon shot, I think it'd be cool. I think that's an interesting.
Yeah.
Benjamin's marriage. Oh yeah, I always thought the Void was the space between systems. I keep playing the Orbiter because I'm addicted. I don't know what that meant, but the Orbiter bit. But
Orbiter?
Yeah, I don't know. Right, okay, Plexus quickfire round for pluses and negatives. Chris Mahan, it sucks to have former for the Railjack now, but I don't know what the problem is. I've maxed out mods on every spot in my Plexus, and I didn't have to former it even once to do it. Ivan Popov, for the Railjack topic in this video, I have no clue what people are talking about. I upgraded all the skills from the login, including the new command one, without lifting a finger. Ali Al-Khatib, my reaction to Plexus was kind of similar at the start. I was, oh my god, please no. Do I really have to former the Railjack? 2 missions later in, Plexus reached max rank, rank 30, proceeds to slap a former on the damn thing, rinse and repeat. Zrugel, I'm going to have to cyber Xeno on this. Just because a feature of the game could be improved or added doesn't mean it's in... Oh, that's a separate bit. That's a separate one. Sorry. And the last one was supposed to be, I've got one from Nazareth, which I seem to have lost. So there's loads of people saying positive for the Plexus system, but I have one person negative, which was Trex Paddock. Thus far for me, and for the people I know in IRL who still play Warframe, the Railjack rework has been a total disaster. After playing for a dozen of new missions, my Plexus was still unranked. I think that might be a bug.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit of a bug.
Yeah,
Right.
that screams bug.
That's the Plexus section over. Zrugal, I'm going to have to Cyber Xeno on this one. Just because a feature of the game could be improved or added to doesn't mean it's incomplete. By that logic, I've never played a game that was complete. A minimum viable product is still a viable product. There you go.
Wait, what was that in context to? Do we need to pause and find out?
No. I was saying about how I challenged you to think of a section of the game that was feature complete, and you said Parkour 2.0.
Parkour. Yeah.
There you go. So Zrugal's basically agreeing with you. Peter Graver and Nick Evans, MDRLOz will definitely need at least 2, if not 3 slots for build submissions. Only reason being to submit cohesive builds. An example, I send a build for you this week with Excalibur Umbra, but I can't submit Exalted Blade with it. I can also see the reason for keeping it smaller because some people could overwhelm you with builds. Have we added anything with Exalted Weapons?
I did actually run that as a question for last week, but I never actually went over the poll because I didn't see it. So I did ask, should we increase the number of build slots? 18% said yes, 18% said no, 64% said they didn't care. So I think 3 slots is reasonable.
Okay. Nick Evans did a really good thing where they basically, do you remember we were saying about Railjack numbers and people complaining, and does it work out the same? Because though you've lost it on the mod, the weapons have improved?
Yeah, something like that.
And Nick Evans basically goes through a lot of them, and I had a look at his numbers, and it really does look like, yeah, you though you might feel you lose it in the mod, the weapons have just increased. For instance, like, what's the top ranking Mark III weapons all buffed on average. Lavan Mark III Carsonox has gone from increase from 148 to 420. There's a massive buff in the weapons. Yeah, Zexy 3 Mark III Carsonox been increased from 222 to 510. Wow. You know, it's massive. And the same thing for the Hyperstrike, Max Grid things, is saying sort of things. So the damage is still there. So it's just like, yeah, okay, there has been some nerfs for like Tether and things. Moving on. Okay, last 3. This one. Oza Shintai. I probably got that wrong. I can't scroll up to find my how to say that. I think I got that right. I think personally, just before Sword Alone came out, I had a huge backlog of melee weapons that I wanted to level. Sword Alone allowed me to focus my efforts on just my melee weapons and allowed me to enjoy a wide range of melee weapons. I might have otherwise ignored if I had guns on me. I understand your point. I once made a mistake of going into Keller the Therm fight with no guns, only to realize you need to shoot the literal spinny things. Fortunately, amps actually work out fine for that purpose, but for a player who had not unlocked, they would be screwed. Could have an art gun. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's if you have a Gravamag.
Yep. Ryan Swass. In Destiny 2, there are champion enemies that can only be dealt with effectively with seasonal mods. Why not implement that in Warframe in high-level missions? Once in a while, spawn a mini-boss that have a sentient shield that can only be removed with an operator, or a mecha enemy with super tough armor that takes more damage from art guns.
Down for that.
I thought that's what they were going for, the art gun. The art gun was going to be the anti-big boss gun. That was the only thing. I mean, that's what I thought it was going to be. But then it was like, oh no, next one. Oh, we need art guns for this. Oh no, this Orb Mother doesn't. You just pull the bits out and then shoot it with your normal guns. Art guns?
You know what? Actually, in our yesterday recording, we made reference to this with StarCraft 2. We didn't do it at this one. However, I could do that now, right?
Go for it.
So in StarCraft 2, they have a really heavy rock, paper, scissors based system where, actually in StarCraft as well, with the Immortal, which is like this quadruped tank thing for the Protoss, it takes. Are you just sitting down?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Am I still on screen?
It has the what was it saying? Quadruped tank. It has this big shield that reduces it caps the maximum damage it can receive, much like a nullifier bubble. So you actually have to pepper it with lots of small fire in order to use your Marines or your Reapers, and you can kill the Immortal. But the Immortal has great survivability against things like siege tanks, which are like big, huge. So I'm totally down for enemies that like, oh yeah, I'm resistant to your normal peppering of bullets. Oh no, not an arc gun.
Yeah. Yes, because it was what I was saying about weapon niches. Good remember on that. Yeah, that's what I was saying for nullifier bubbles, wasn't I? Why the Krakata? Yeah. Cool. Right. Last one. Okay. Deadpool 1090. Sorry, I completely disagree with Xeno here, saying that the parkour system is an example of something that's fully completed. Personally, I feel that this explanation is the same as saying that the Bratton is a complete feature. Without good gameplay and interesting enemies, the Bratton would be pointless, and it's the same with parkour. Without interesting levels to move through which challenge the player's navigational abilities, what's the point of having it? Being able to parkour down a straight corridor would ultimately be pointless. The Gas City rework was a good start, but ultimately was not capitalized on. Missions like Capture with parkour are boring and take zero efforts, because before parkour, when I first played a capture mission I failed, it was tough and challenging. But when they added parkour, these missions became super easy. There aren't many, if any, endless which challenge your parkour abilities, and there aren't any levels which are really challenging for your parkour abilities. To me, many areas of the game still feel built without parkour in mind, in part because some of these have yet to be reworked. To me, parkour, I would argue, is ultimately not finished if you take into context the game as a whole. This is, to me, the biggest problem with Warframe. They will introduce cool new features and content and then not capitalize on it. I understand that this may not be their intention, but that's how, to many people that I have spoken to, it comes across. There are many times they have released content, and I've been excited to see where they will take this content, only for years to go by and plenty of new content to be introduced, and for this content to go through the exact same thing.
But this was Deadpool
1090.
1090.
1090.
Excellent comment. I love this. One thing I notice a lot of fellow players, like, I don't really understand how people do this. So right now, Loz, in the footage, he's running around physically with his spinny little legs, going, but for
Railjack.
me, I literally bullet jump like fucking everywhere.
I see, like that gunnery. It's at 2. Just it's bugged.
I hate you so
much. What an upgrade.
much.
I don't know what's wrong with it. Look, I mean, it's a 2. See, I'm upgrading other things. Look, see. But that's
so, Loz, I hear I need to come over and, check out something to do with your PC and, anyway, so, to me, like, I feel that a lot of players don't ever fully embrace everything, right? It's like they get 90% of the way there. They don't ever, like, I couldn't really get my head around Zorin-coptering, right? It was more a physical inability to do it, or skill based. I couldn't do it, right? But I don't understand how players don't just bullet jump everywhere. And I do see loads of players just walking or, running. Sorry, to me it's walking. Running everywhere or sliding. Why aren't they bullet jumping?
So literally, if you had to, like, say you were like, I'm making a sandwich. Quick, I need to go to the fridge. Bullet jump to the fridge.
If I could, I would. If I could, I would. If I couldn't have the contents of my fridge next to me, and I could bullet jump over there, I would do it. But if I could, the problem is I could bring it to me and just leave it here, and then instead of having to get up and, like, I take the simplest way out.
All right.
And but it is what it is. And so Deadpool 1090. That is right, isn't it?
Yeah, 1090.
Yeah, I tip my cap at you. Good job with the response.
I do try. I don't think I've had a reply from them before, so I do try and prioritize sometimes when we see new people replying. Just, every reply gets read, and I can't, obviously, there's like, I get 30 comments, which is nice, but I can only talk about, I think, about 6 here, 7 here. So I can't talk about all of them, sadly. Right, but anyway, let's move on.
Memes.
Right, ready? So here we have the memes at the end of the week. The memes for this week. These are all from the r/memeframe subreddit. If you ever want to just go over there and find a laugh or a smile for Warframe related, there's lots of people producing brilliant memes every week. And here we have meme number 1.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay.
I still don't understand. YouTuber explains the Warframe lore in the most simplest way possible. Me. Amazing. every word of what you just said was confusing.
What does he say in that
was
scene?
wrong.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah. Everything of what you just said was wrong. Yeah. Or completely wrong or something like that.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, the Warframe lore, I have to go to Zale to understand some of it at this point.
Really? What's confusing about it?
The Unum.
There's lore for it?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, okay, cool. Number 2.
Meme number 2. Seriously, how do I fight against a level 40 enemy? I don't really get this one, but it got massive upvotes. I don't know what to do once a weapon / Warframe reaches rank 30, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. Don't get it.
This is a Parks and Rec thing.
Ah.
And this was Chris Pratt before he got buff. And I don't know if you know Chris Pratt like used to be really heavy.
Yeah.
And then when
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, so James Gunn wouldn't even give him the time of day, but his like assistant said, please, like give this guy a screen test. And the chemistry was just there. And James Gunn said, right, you can do it, but you have to lose this much weight.
Wow.
And he did it. He like,
yeah.
So he eventually comes. So the idea is that Chris Pratt's character goes to like England. Right, I've made the comment of this before. He goes to England, and so thus he's out of the series. But he eventually comes back, and he's like really like thin and stuff.
Yeah,
and buff is like, and they basically said it's like, oh yeah. So it turns out like beer has puts on a lot of weight and things like this, and it's really expensive here in the UK, and. They turned to him and said, how much beer were you drinking? Just lost so much weight. Anyway, yeah. Excellent meme.
Meme number 3. Hey dude, I heard you like having the ability to walk. The hardest level in gaming. Repost and add the worst enemy / hazard from a game.
Oh, God. So, obviously there's the creeper. There's those weird bug things from Don't Starve.
I think top right is Binding of Isaac. Top left, sorry.
You mean left? Yeah.
There's the sniper, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the others.
Then there's the blob, which is from I think it's Slime Rancher or something like that. The rest I don't recognize.
You get the one on the bottom left, yeah. You spot it there.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, the scorpion, yeah.
Scorpion. It's like, yep, good choice for thinking. Because I thought maybe like they put the nullifier, and it's like, I like that it wasn't the nullifier, so that's the reason why I've got that one in there. Meme number 4.
No, there's something else that slows you down. I can't remember what it is. In Warframe.
Cross damage?
Probably. Anyway, let's move on.
Idiots can't even figure this out. LOL, just type /unstuck in chat. Topical. Free now, but...
Oh, that is incredible. That is absolutely incredible.
Yep.
I've loved the memes of the Evergreen.
It's amazing. Meme number 5. I hadn't checked if this was the April Fools from the Warframe Twitter account, but let's go!
It was. Yeah.
Warframe. We update you that today the raids will return is not... We update you that today the raids will return is not only also Excalibur Prime and Clem Prime. In fact, the relics of Excalibur and Clem will be dropped only in raids and have a percentage of 0.0000002% drop.
Yep.
Yep. It's official.
This was their April Fools, yeah.
And then the last one. I love this one. I'm not really sure why I made this, but it made me laugh. I said I wanted pictures of Spider-Man, damn it!
I'm interested to know, what was he saying that to before?
70 Spider-Man, I don't even know. It's probably just him saying Spider-Man. But I just saw this and went, yeah, it does look like Spider-Man's colours.
Yeah.
Yep, and that is meme number 6.
Yep.
So now we
Turn 'em off.
move on to. Oh no, I should turn off. Yeah, buttons are. Glad we added these buttons to move forward and back because they're wiping. Right. So we are now on to Xeno's community shoutouts of the week.
Yup. So the first community shout out is Chibi Sevagoth by Dasta Creations.
Ah,
I just think this looks adorable, really well detailed, and yeah, it kind of gives me the impression that Sevagoth is a lot more innocent than the Shroud. What was the Shadow counterpart? So
it also looks quite feathery.
yeah, I don't know why the Shadow isn't. Yeah, it looks like the part of the shadow that's sort of like hanging there is actually attached to the arm, and it's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, next one. So this is Excalibur by Eric Lee or Lai. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, but
Oh.
I'm not entirely sure if that's a sentinel or a ghost.
No, it's a sentinel. It's the My First Sentinel one. It's the one that's X-shaped.
Oh yes, I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah, pretty good sentinel.
Yep, really like this one. The third one is the Prismadera by John Berger, which is amazing.
Look at this. Look at that.
I know this was featured
Beautiful.
on prime time, but
Well, yeah. Oh, so good. So it's so much skill. Makes you want to make things yourself, doesn't it? And just amazed by people who can make things.
Yep. This is Titania by Ikoma. This was a completely different style. This is a style that we don't typically see, where it's sort of like torn, dripping, kind of illustration. I really like it.
I love that. It's so organic,
yeah,
which makes sense for Titania and obviously Earth tile set stuff. I mean, obviously people say about life and everything, which is green and everything, but one part of life is also decay. And that is so good. I love the way it drips into the butterflies.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
I thought this is really, really great.
So grim, so dark.
The fifth community shout out. That's not the fifth community shout out.
Oh, did I pushed 5. Shout out 5. Pushing 5.
Was it?
Going to the I've got a button to go straight back and go and pause. There we go.
Cool. Are you just going to continue to sit there?
No, I'll get up. I was going to... Oh, yeah.
No, I was just checking. Right, so this is Happy 8th Birthday by Lucky Goblin. So this has... I don't know how many of the Warframes are on here.
All right. Wow.
Yep.
How many got there? We got
Wisp,
1...
Mag, Ember, Rhino, Excalibur, Octavia...
Mirage,
Trinity, Grendel... Loki, Ivara, Frost, Vault, Titania. I can't see the whole image. Give me 2 seconds.
14, I think.
There's a Clem.
Where's a Clem? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm right. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah.
Cool.
Great. And then the 6th community shout out is We Woke Up and We Will Take the First Steps Together by Kvatz Schrödinger.
I give this points. This is good. Why do I like this? Why do I really like this? Not only because it's good art, but what?
It's the first 4. It's the original 4.
Well, but there never was an original 4. It was.
Well, yeah, because it swapped Loki out with Mag. Vault.
I don't know. I can't remember which way around it was now, but yeah, it is that they swapped them around. Yeah, I think it was Vault because Mag was always in there to give you a choice for a female frame to start with. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. But I just think it's great. It's the ones who were the first. Yeah, because Vault originally dropped on Jupiter, which wasn't Alad V. It was the Golem, and it was just a weird leaper that just chucked green gunk at your floor. Your feet, sorry. Yeah. So.
And Excalibur used to be on Pluto.
Yeah, with Ambulus, that was just a mower which would do karate kicks.
Yeah.
That is, I like that. I really like that. I just think that's so hot, so wholesome, so good, and it is a lovely piece of art. There we are. Yes.
Cool.
So that's it for the shout-outs. So shout-outs off. Yep. And let's finish off, Xeno, with your quote of the week.
Yeah, I just realized I'm trying to take these times, and there's no point because they're going to be horrendously off with that fusion. Going to get cupped out in the middle. But anyway, right. So, shoot, where's the? There it is. Right. I honestly don't know if you're going to get this.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen this. Right. When you enter the void, take a moment to orient yourself. Things will feel strange. When you wall run, the wind will be at your back. You encounter fire, ice will form on your warframe as transferred heat is reversed. Gravity will feel normal, but you're reversed from the space around you. You may experience distortions in your vision and hearing. This is the man in the wall.
That's so cool. Is it Tenant?
It is.
That's good. I like that. This is so good.
Yeah.
So how did you start it?
Oh God, hold on. Sorry, just open up the right. When you enter the void.
Yes, I was like, yeah, that I love that. I love that because it's replacing the void with the inverted time stuff, and obviously, yeah.
Yeah, so it's when you exit the airlock. I thought enter the void.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that is a good one. I like that. Yeah, I mean, obviously it doesn't work like that, but it's cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
That's a really good movie. I want to watch it again because like there's just so much to take in.
I almost want like multiple cameras. I think I'd love to chop it to pieces and have multiple screens and then put them in order for where the time is.
Yeah, it's like I really wish like I could have just watched it on the big screen.
Oh, you didn't see it at the cinema?
No, because it was only out during that really brief respite. Was it June
Midsummer?
Or
July?
Yeah, and I could I couldn't get to it. Oh no, because did the Cineworld actually open? I don't think the Cineworld actually opened.
Okay.
The cinema near me didn't actually open, or it didn't have it. The only cinema that had it was the one that was near you.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, right. Well, yeah, that's it for this week's episode of 10 o'clock. Loz, hit the outro screen. Good job. Oh, it can't. Why can't I get to the server? Server unavailable. That no good.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that does actually look like the server's down. Well, yep. And imagine all your lovely Patreon names there. I love you all. You are amazing. Sorry the server's unavailable. And yeah, we will see you next week.
We will see you next week. Yeah, we should probably close off to leave that horror. We'd have that service unavailable screen. So bye everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
I pushed the stop button. There.